NASA?
We were all muted. We were muted,
Oh.
so that
You
was
know, that's
funny.
good. Honestly, they didn't need to hear that. It
Yeah.
wasn't anything good.
That was actually like they were spared, right? So
They've been saved.
yeah. Nick and Jake had to listen to it though, so you're welcome for that one. So
It was just like the beginning of every session. Cell was talking for like an hour, and everyone stopped paying attention.
I thought I carried
Ow.
the conversation this time. As
I'll
much as he
just
was
cry
paying
in a
attention,
corner.
he thought it
It's
was
okay.
Sal. No, Sal. I was talking, and he listened so little he assumed it was you.
Yeah.
It's
So can we give some love to Cell real quick? For all you Cell lovers out there, all you nerds. Can we do we have any Cell fans in chat? Anybody stand Cell?
Probably not.
What's a good emote to say that you stand Cell? Jake, what's a stand Cell emote? You're hip. Decide it for us. What do you
I'm
think?
probably the beast boomer out of the lot of us. Like that's
I mean-
the wrong person to ask right there.
I mean, I know, but that was kind of the funny part, you know?
do you have any like chain emojis or?
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't believe you've done this.
All right. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I want to show love to Cell in this way. Cell is making an NPC kingdom sheet to be used. So if you have a vassal state, he has set up the sheet right here. It's a simplified version of the typical sheets, which we have modified to be way more complicated than they already had to be, partially because we have things like advisor tasks, which don't exist in actual Kingmaker campaigns. I added advisor tasks, so I liked it from the video game, and I think it adds more of a dynamic to the campaign. Totally something that doesn't need to be there. But so he made these simplified one-page versions that are NPC sheets to allow like for vassal states and whatnot to exist without having to micromanage them. Once you set them up, like he is almost done setting up Skull right now, it makes it significantly easier to push on. So, yay! That's exciting, right? We're all excited?
I'm just. Yeah. Did a little work on it, so it's good.
All right.
Good. Next, put in macros so it does all the vassal states kingdom rolls.
I mean, that'd be cool. So you like click a button and it rolls everything, except I don't even know if it doesn't really need kingdom rolls. Like we haven't fully discussed as a table, and for the viewers as viewers, how we want to handle vassal states. There is literally no rules about this in Pathfinder. They give no guidance for how to run them. I mean, you could do full blown. Well, you could do full blown nations. In which
That's
case,
what it says.
holy shit, there's a lot more dice rolling and upkeep and so on and so forth. Or you could just make them like white noise in the backdrop, in which case it almost feels, why did I invest if there's literally nothing there? Oh, it's just like a name on a piece of paper.
This is where we got to be careful, boys, because this is one of those like,
Just-
if we're trading liberty for safety, you deserve neither, right?
Uh,
So, if you give Scott the power, he will take it,
You know,
and you will
like-
never get it back.
like the ways of doing it would be, you either manage the vassal sheet between weeks, right? So it doesn't take up their already slightly time-intensive kingdom stuff, but it's been getting better on the time intensivity, right? You probably want to do it outside of the game time, which then is hard for people like Nick. All right.
Yes, or we have clan channels, right? Can we just assign the vassal states to our clan channels?
No, because some people will be very into it, others will be less into it, and then whoever's in the clan channel, you have certain, like, even within the channel itself, never mind the different channels, you know, some people will like, well, I want to take full control, and others being like, I disagree, but I really don't feel like arguing with you over this. You know, and it just like causes more of a division than needs to be. I liked the division aspect from specifically the Adirian upkeep one, which update one, which Nick, you don't really know what that is, which is fine. But I like the division there because it felt like political debates and how to path forward and so on and so forth. And there was a whole bunch of people having a conversation about one location. but for something like this, it feels like you're needless divisiveness. So, okay.
Well, William, I see I've been betrayed.
Don't worry about William. He has twins. He's just lashing out.
I know, but I can't hate. I just think back to that Mr. Incredible costume, and it was
Oh
great.
yeah, you were there for that.
I'd rather see that. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, that was well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I won't lie. That was pretty awesome. Either way, but we don't want this. Yeah, like Joey's saying, if there's any mechanical stuff done, it should be done outside of sessions. That'd be boring if we just added that on. So as it is, we're already having conversations about mechanics.
It's very meta.
Yeah. Unless Jake wants to control all of them.
No. No offense, Jake, but no.
Jake, do you want to control all of
Why?
them now that he just told you? Yeah, I know. Seriously.
I do now. I
Why?
wanna control every one of them.
Because it's mine. All right,
Actually,
it's
you know
my
what?
precious.
You know what?
You know-
all in favor of Melody controlling Clan Skull. Aye.
Hey, it would be
Right.
interesting. Hey.
Right? It'd be awesome.
I could talk her into it, so just saying.
You know what? Whoever that is, I'll accept. Okay.
Can I roll for their people to turn on them? Can I control them from chat? I will roll. Oh,
Sorry,
honestly?
Tyler. Fun fact: our people are actually really loyal to us, and they don't betray us. So I know that's not something common on Regicide, but it's mostly on your end. So
When's the next time you're in the Carolinas? You can go and tower over Cell. As a reminder, Tyler, Cell is like 5'5".
I'm 5'7". Excuse you.
I haven't met you yet.
I am my
Tall as I
doctor.
imagine.
All right, listen. I can be mean to Tyler, right? Last session I give him a Winifred's, okay? So
Oh,
I use all my points.
it's Ano's birthday in 2 hours and 37 minutes. So he's not important until then. At that point in time, we should.
Oh, I have another birthday to announce. All right,
Uh-oh.
I don't think anyone else checked. I was looking to the logs.
No.
Tomorrow
No.
is been a year since Warmonger started, the first session.
Oh, really?
Yeah, February 8th, 2021.
Well, that's exciting. Because I remember it was in January that we were like, so Sally, you want to jump in? And you're like, hell yeah, I got an idea. And we came up with it whatever like one night. That was that weird ass vacation where I tried to stream from Maine.
I saw that. That said it was so jank.
And that there's the frozen lake meme and all that. Oh god. Can't get away
Classics.
from it. Yeah. Anyways, so back to the game. Is there anything that you guys think that chat could take control of or make things easier for you by using not daddies but what are they called, Daelric pop channel points? Do you think that that's something that they could take over or make easier for you by having that? Like, let's say maybe somebody can spend channel points to make a decision as to which advisor's handling a task.
No. Sounds absolutely terrible.
I couldn't even keep a straight face.
I wouldn't even let the meme go. I would have to blatantly decline it.
Well,
Okay.
since Cell's the only one with a vassal state, I think we should vote.
I have 2. The other one's less important than Skull.
So what happens when your vassal states go to war with each other?
Well, they won't because they're like. We can see the distance. All right, Skull's up here.
With feeling.
They are 120 miles apart.
It'll happen.
You know what? I'll wait for it to happen.
Okay, so I think we should get into it. I believe we did same as last time. We left off with one clan not 100% done. Then we can jump into the other clan, right? Is that true,
Yeah.
Nick? Do we owe you still?
I think we did my random event, right?
We did. I'm gonna get this away from here. I'm gonna keep eating them.
I can't believe I actually remembered that. I'm impressed with myself.
We're all impressed with you, Nick.
You should be.
Thank you, Sir Keegan. All right. So you did your random event. Did we finish up all your other events? I feel like there were other important things that needed to be done to you.
Everything I need to. I have an event. A Shadow event for Clan Kushibashi.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, that's what we were gonna do. We had that.
Actually, why don't you guys
whatever.
do that? Why don't you guys do that one while I'm doing my getting my stuff together for the other, I think, 2 things I need to do for you. And I know there's shit waiting for Jake. I know for a fact there is. So go ahead, Cell. I will allow you to approach it as you see fit and kind of run it from there. I will DM it as needed.
Okay, cool. Gil, my new ambassador, requests a meeting with the warlord.
Kuchibashi,
Yeah, you. My advisor to you requests a meeting. A message from Shadow as well.
You can enter. Yeah. Just for, I usually have an open door policy. People don't need to grovel to go into my door. So
cool.
Hey Zion, thank you so much for the 1050.
So then yeah, she just she gets the guards to open the door, I assume, or is it actually just open?
It's open. So
okay, cool. Fine. Interesting facts. So she walks in. Warlord Naren, I come with a message from Clan Shadow. They request your aid in a certain matter that you may recall. You remember the fire that was set ablaze in Eldamar when you traveled there with the warlords.
Oh, Jesus, stairway. Hype train.
And and the creature of fire was cursed upon the warlord. The one that you may have heard attacked him in his sleep.
Yes, I recall. Kind of hard to forget.
The salamanders have given information to the warlord about a metal that can be found out here in the west that works well against the creatures of the forest. It's a metal tempered in cold instead of heat.
Interesting.
The salamander says that his people can make an area where we can insert metal parts of this cold iron into the caves to contain the creature so it cannot go through the caves and escape. And they have a way of getting Shadow to call the creature to him so he can deal with it. We request your aid in finding this metal so Jorman may craft some.
Understood.
Ignore it, Sal.
Clan Kujibashi is not experienced in surveying for minerals. So I'm not sure how well we can be of use, but we will certainly make an attempt. What advice comes from Clan Shadow in this?
Did Tiktong do anything last week? I don't think Tiktong did.
I think it was either Tark or Tiktong did something last week. I'm not sure which one it was. It was your warden. Which one's your warden?
No, I sent my general to deal with the imps.
I thought your warden took care of something. Jesus, hi Amanda. I thought your somebody else did followed up on something else. It was another event that you had. Where you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think Tiktong was looking for the.
It was your, I knew it was your warden, so which I'm pretty sure is Tiktong.
The marshal, but yeah.
Yeah.
Would he have time to help them survey for ore? He has that special ability.
So he would be able to. I would say yeah. He can do so. Yeah. It was the Traxian follow-up. That's what he was doing. The Traxian follow-up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I imagine he spent like a week doing it. He was like, yeah, I couldn't even find any signs of them. Because I failed pretty terribly.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was not good.
The warlord's advisor, I don't even know what I called him. I don't have my kingdom sheet open. His marshal, Tiktong, travels here already. He is an incredible hobgoblin. he has an ability to almost smell ore. He can sense it in the area. If you can help protect him in the forest, he'll be almost certainly able to locate this ore and maybe train you or people to find it. As we find more of it, we can make you weapons.
Yes. We'd definitely be willing to attempt this endeavor. Let's make it happen.
She gives you a bow. That is all, Warlord.
Okay. So, Nick, who is going to assist in trying to find this this ore, trying to find about this ore, so on and so forth, since he's not going to be able to get it from the other location he was hoping to?
Oh boy. I think Tonscreet's going to tell me who the best person would be.
Are you using one of your advisor hinty hint things, or no?
I do think so.
Okay.
Let me pull up his sheet.
So that's a P is with which clan? P is with Cell, right?
Denture.
Okay. The salamander one's working. Oh yeah, we got to do your salamander thing too, Cell, in your next kingdom roll, I think.
My what?
The salamander that wants to build the item for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, easy working with Lenny and the shaman. I have her name. The Kreese Mabru. The Enkindler.
Yes. Just making sure that I have all my details in here. So once Nick is good, I just make sure I don't miss any of the stuff that's kind of like owed to these sessions.
No, actually, Tonscreet's he already used it, so.
Tonscreet?
Somebody else has it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Any of your big, so Shala would have one, and who's your other big supported person? Rayon, is that his name? Rayon?
Yeah.
Is anybody that's under the Patreon tab? So Tonscreet, Shala, and Rayon, and then Zalmafeng might, but I don't think so. Yeah, they don't have it yet. They will eventually, but not yet. Zalmafeng. So Shala or Rayon, whoever you think amongst those two would be better for kind of getting this task done.
It's going to be Rayon because he's the only one left.
Oh, did Shala already use hers?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, was that when you were doing the Yeah, I remember. Okay, cool. I think you're the only person that's actually even used. No. Jake used it once. He's like, General, what should I do for battle tactic? Uh huh. Now this is straight from the DM. This is advice from the DM. No bullshit. I'm gonna do the exact opposite of that.
Hey, it worked.
Fuck you,
okay?
Scott.
Hey, no, I wanted to go back, but the other two did not, if you remember.
I'm sorry. I'm
not
hearing
used
a
it.
whole lot of you did not follow the advice of your advisor.
Whoa. All right, listen, who retreated?
I'm not
all right?
blaming you.
I don't see red Mongol troops anymore.
I'm not blaming
all right?
you.
I'm just saying,
I'm not
they're
blaming
gone.
you. I'm not throwing shade at you.
I'm memeing.
Okay, so Nick, you good? You're gonna use Ryon's? Throw this into RP.
Yeah.
Ask you a question in RP, and I'll use the ability. You can bloop it in chat too, off of his character sheet.
So basically, I will summon Ryan, and I will be like, Ryan, we've been informed that there may be a strange type of iron that can be forged in the coal that can be found in this area. This comes from a reputable source. How would we find such material? How would we research it? How do we extract it? I know nothing about these, about surveying for metals.
He nods. He looks tired, more tired than he usually does as an old man that always has been riddled with diseases most of his life. So again, he looks tired, and he says, This is a change. This is a change of pace, Warlord, from having my hands elbow deep in Kamatori guano. But I think I might have an idea. He like rubs his eye and then like stops and looks at his hand. And then he goes and rubs his eye again. and he's like, I remember hearing rumors. Shouldn't say rumors. I remember reading about clans that came before, decades ago, that tried to bring order, civilization to these lands and failed, where, of course, Clan Kushibashi has succeeded. They talked of such things that were able to be found inside the forests themselves. There were markers. This type of metal grew beneath certain groves. I have to look into this and find the details of these groves, see what it said inside the books, and I'll get back to you as to exactly what the details are. But if I were to suggest the best way to find this, since there are no members of Kushibashi who are best at surveying for metals, as you said, instead we find the details of these groves and the person that's best for identifying them. Perhaps I'm mistaken, but I think Eric, I think he might know the most details about the woods, having spent some time there. Or who's the new one just joined us? Zhao Mifang. I would look to see who knows the most about the woods, who has the deepest knowledge of nature, and send that individual. Myself excluded, of course, as I'm handling many more important things here than carrying around a pickaxe. What is this for? What's the reasoning?
Clan Shado says this metal can be used to trap the flame spirit that haunts Tessel. And also, this metal would work strong on, obviously on that creature, then maybe on those Frost Fae. I would assume that anything of that nature could be vulnerable. So this could just be another tool or valuable resource that can be tucked into Clan Kuchibashi's belt, as well as a means of extracting more mastercraft weapons from our allies to the north. Or, yeah, you're north of us, right? Or is that east?
Northeast. He's east, yeah.
I'm southeast.
Yeah, but east works.
Yeah.
East works. Yeah, he says, your words carry the burden of urgency. They carry the weight of importance. Warlord, I have to ask, after I'm done making sure the Kamatori are not dead, is this something that you're asking me to handle personally? Is that why you've called me to this room? Because, truth be told, I don't know if anybody knows those woods as well as I do. If not in practice like them, but in deep lore and understanding. And this is where we check character sheets. Is that accurate? I think it actually is. I think he is the smartest boy. His knowledge nature is what? His knowledge nature is a 12. So
yeah, he is the best. So I was supposed to level up Eric Hoof to level 6, and I haven't done that yet.
But would that get him above a 12? Because currently he's only at a 6. So that's only, in theory, 3 more points. And even if his associated stat went up, it wouldn't, because it's intelligence based. So unless he got a feat or something, that only gets him from a 6 to a 9. So Eric would not be better. And then if you look at somebody like, say, a Ton Screet, who you'd imagine would be good at this shit, Ton Screet is still looking at only a 3. So This is why I made that assumption, which is why I started changing my tone and how I was describing it. You know.
Gotcha. Yes, Ryan, this is your field. If you would just stop being so damn competent, I'd stop putting you to work.
I think, unfortunately, the time that I stop being competent is the day that I die. He says. He looks tired. He nods and says, I'll see to it that the commatory are safe. That our way of life will be able to continue, and that our enemies will fall beneath their talons. And then I will turn to the tomes. I will go to the scrolls. I'll find the details, and if need be, I'll join the expedition. And hopefully, this time I don't catch some sort of unique inflammation.
Yes. That's the last thing we all need to listen to for the next coming years.
He then will stand up and say, I imagine if this is an ore that we're looking for the benefit of Clan Shado, they're sending someone of competence to assist us in the matter.
I believe you answered your own question.
He nods and says, so only Kushibashi is going then. We saw how the warlord himself fared in the woods.
Oh. I mean, that's deserved credit, honestly. But TikTok's good at this shit, right? That's so sad but true.
I once again will be escorting hopefully a competent individual through Eldamar, but I don't think there'll be any outbursts or wild goose chases through the forest this time.
Is it already predetermined who, or could a request be made?
I believe Tiktung was the one being sent, but we can always try.
He kind of leans back in his chair, and you can see furrows his brow as he's trying to remember who the hell Tiktung is, because there's so many of them over there, and I don't think he's ever officially met Tiktung. So after he thinks for a long moment, he nods and says, actually, yes, that would be favorable. People of his bloodline are uncommon in the forests. The Sturges would find his blood particularly succulent and would detract from our soldiers and myself.
Understood.
He kind of like rocks back in his chair, uses that as like, and stands himself back up and says, now, if you'll excuse me, Warlord, I have samples that I need to check to see if the acidity is... And he turns and walks out, seeming like he's not happy with what he has to do next.
Nice.
Yeah. And Ryan is not lawful evil. He's actually true neutral. And if someone's going to get their blood sucked, let it be somebody else.
I mean,
right?
His blood's tainted by like several different poisons, I'm sure, at this point.
Just saying. Just saying. Okay, cool. So, how are we going to handle this? Well, I think technically, Nick, you can roll for Cell, but you can't do so that past Kingdom roll, the one that we're finishing up, because Ryan is the one that's doing it, and he's got his, again, elbow deep inside Kamatori Guano. So, unfortunately, so Cell, you don't mind waiting till next month? Or, because your rolls are what? Before his?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right before me.
But that's okay, because that means you can dedicate Tiktung to not doing any tasks in your kingdom. Instead, he can go with Nick to go take care of that.
Yeah, I would have liked to get it again too, but it doesn't look like it works out in terms of timing. Because I don't know how long the weapon's gonna... I don't know how long it's gonna take to craft the stuff.
Do you mean the amulet afterwards, or not the amulet? The trinket, whatever afterwards. That
Like
that will not take long.
well, like all the cold iron, the parts that's sticking in the cave or whatever.
Yeah. So the other parts of the ritual can be worked on, but specifically the trinket or whatever that you're making to act as like the container. Oh wait, is it a single trinket that you're making? Yeah.
He's gonna be in it.
So that's not gonna take an insane amount.
But that's not what I was worried about. I was worried about the time for the cold iron to be manufactured to contain him in the cave, right? Because the idea was that we make a bunch of small pieces of it, right, in the cave walls, so it can't escape.
Oh, you're talking about like iron, like cold iron rods. Gotcha. Well, the way cold iron works is the way that it's actually manipulated is it's just beaten to shit with a hammer, no heat, just constantly beaten with a hammer, no heat. So that's going to be based off of Jorman's results, and you can always, like, once you know the DC for that, you can always add +10s to his check, and that increases the speed at which he can beat it. So let's say if I told you, oh, so the DC to make these cold iron rods is like a craft DC 18. You're like, all right, I'm gonna make it a 28. That way, when you beat a 28, it's, let's say you rolled a 30. It'd be 30 times 28 for the progress per day versus 30 times 18. You know what I mean? So, cool. I know, Nick, you know this shit because you've done crafting a billion times. So, all right. So that finishes that up. What is what's up?
Oh, I was reading the cold iron section. It actually wouldn't take that long at all, or at least in terms of the crafting time, because of the crafting times based on cost of the item.
Exactly what I just said.
Which is only 2 times the normal cost of an item, so which is pretty quick for Jorman.
Correct, exactly. So you're looking at 2 times the cost of the item. So what you're looking to do is you're making iron rods. Now, does cold iron have a cost by weight, or is it just cost of item?
2 times cost of item, but I can figure out the weight of item.
So what you really want to look up, do research for, is making literally iron bars, iron rods, and the DC to craft those. So their value craft, and then you just do the math from there, which again, Jorman can do that stuff pretty easily. You're more or less fucking making rebar. Like, yeah, it's not, but you're just hammering rebar versus melting it, which is the hard part.
I'll look into it while this is going on.
Exactly. All right, cool. Anything else for Nick? Let me just double check and make sure I didn't forget anything over here. Again, I know I specifically had stuff for Sel and Jake, but I gotta make sure for Nick. No, that's not for your campaign. Nope, that's a different thing entirely. Yep, that's the one Xylamos has been waiting on since April 12th, but it's coming up very soon. I meant April 12th is coming up soon, not the actual result. So, sorry.
It might take that long at this rate.
Let's see. Nope, that's about the Chev. No. That's for Densho. We already did the salamander person. We're just waiting to have the results based off of XYZ. And then this one, again, Pete is with Shado. So we're doing that on your next one because she left. So that's why we have to wait for next one. Oh, and you actually just recently got a luck die, I just realized. So I was like, what's that? Oh. So we'll just add that on there. Increment luck. Cool. Perfect. So actually nothing else for Nick. You are in the clear, sir. Good. We already did everything else for you, so now we're going to go on to Jake's turn. Are you ready, Jake?
Yep.
Oh, actually, before we go on to you, Jake, because I don't think Nick responded in Discord. The 3 of us don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Do you celebrate Valentine's Day, Nick? No? So we're good to play next weekend?
We should be. Let me ask first, but I don't think it'll be a problem.
It's one of those things where if Sam wants to do something, you should 100% respect. Well, you should do what I was giving your relationship.
It's just whenever our days align. Our first date ever was like right around then, and we kind of toggle it. So while Valentine's Day isn't special, we usually do something to celebrate us around that.
You kidding me? If you do you remember
Actually, no. Our favorite restaurant winds up getting booked for like the whole month. So
what restaurant?
it's Gracie's in Providence.
Oh, okay. I don't know Gracie's. Do you know Atwood Grill in Johnston?
I don't go to Johnston. It smells.
I don't blame you, but remember I used to live in Johnston. So, and you're thinking of Cranston. Johnston doesn't
I stand
smell
by
as
my
bad.
word.
Johnston has a nice park. It's a really big, nice park. And they used to have good sushi. But that place shut down like 10 years ago. Do you remember?
I stand by my words. Listen, they're all you can eat. They were intentionally slow when they brought those rolls to you. You know it. I know it. It was a ripoff. 25 minutes to get a single tuna roll.
Oh, hush. It was quality. It was quality sushi.
Listen, I'm a fat American and I want my goddamn sushi brought to my table in unlimited fashion.
I love sushi.
What was I saying? So, Atwood Grill over there. I one time went on Valentine's Day with Beth, like forever, so pre-Britney, forever ago, and we had a like the deal that actually like the food that they gave you, the bottle of wine it came with, is all pretty good. But they also had like a 4 or 5 piece bands that played and like a dance floor, so you could actually go and like dance and had like live music and it was like I was like, that's when I realized, wow, like Valentine's Day is a really good time to like take advantage of good deals, but like at the same time everything's booked and nobody cares about you because you're just one of millions, you know. And I know that because I worked in the restaurant industry for a long time and it's fucking busy. So anyways,
yeah, no, Gracie's is like the kind of restaurant where you get a new fork with every course and palate cleansers, and it's really nice.
I'm gonna text Brittany real quick. I'm gonna say, Nick is telling me that you and I should go to Gracie's in Providence sometime. So, book that.
Yes.
There you go.
He just, I know you, Scott. I love you like a brother. You are a cheap fuck. Your wife is a cheap fuck.
No, that's not true. We go to Oyster Bar and we get like tons of oysters when they're dollars.
Yes. So I'm just
when
going
it's
to tell
$1
you,
oysters, we get a ton.
if you say went to this restaurant and had like 1 or 2 drinks and just like the full experience, it's like.
But when I go to Oyster Bar, I get yeah, that's fine. When I go to Oyster Bar, I get a martini, or 2. It's just Brittany never orders alcohol because she won't drink it. She'll have a sip and then it just gets wasted. So, but
that's. It's like $100 a plate, right? Which is fine, whatever. Yeah. We don't do it often, but
once a year, that's nothing wrong with that.
Sam will go get fucking pasta. Yes. You're getting fucking pasta.
No, no, I don't care how fucking good the risotto is. No,
it's
lobster and steak only.
Yes.
You hear that, Jake? $100 pasta.
Wait, how's Tina looking at stuff? That's insane.
It hurts my soul.
Sorry, let me translate this to the Australian dollar. Hear that, Jake? $200 pasta.
You got me now.
$100 is nothing, all right?
He's got $100. That's McDonald's.
But my dinner is really good.
Hey, it's getting close to that these days.
Oh God, that's scary. Oh my God. Well, either way, I will gladly check it out. So,
it's awesome.
I went to the most expensive place that I went to was, what was the name of the really good sushi place in North Providence on Mineral Springs? You know what I'm talking about? It was pretty close to the sub shop that we loved.
Oh yeah,
do you remember? Oh, either way, that place there. So that was shut up, Anno. So that was I remember going there. I went there one time for Mother's Day, and it was again back in the day. So it was myself, Beth, and then my mom and my dad, and what?
Sorry. They have a pound of cold iron as a resource.
Oh, cool. So you look into that in 1 second. So we went there, and it was just the 4 of us, and we got sushi and drinks and so on and so forth. that tax, tip, everything included, it ended up being over $500. And this was $500 12 years ago, which, again, way more than our hyperinflated past dozen years $500. So it was yeah, I remember that one. I remember being very tipsy paying that bill, and the next day I realized what it was, and I was like oh yeah, that was funny.
I had many a bar tab that were devastating.
Yep. I remember crawling to my jacket, the leather jacket I used to wear, crawling to my jacket in the morning and pulling out the receipt and being like, I cannot believe this happened. But my 20s are over. So,
But Jaeger bombs.
oh god, I fucking hated Jaeger bombs, but I drank so many of them. All right, we should probably focus on Jake because he's eventually has to go and run an errand, and we love him.
Yeah, that's in like 10 minutes.
Oh,
15 minutes.
Okay, so let's at least, the jokes aside, let's literally just get your started part out. I didn't realize what time that was, even though you said it earlier. So let's at least get the opening part of you out of the way, and then we can kind of jump into the you getting out of here. So hold on, I think I opened Clan Densho. I have that right here. I didn't open the kingdom details of kingdom. Here we go. Get that open right now, and lastly, sir. Let me actually get your sheet up for everybody else to see. So, okay, here we go. So you have, your sheet is right there, sir. So let's go right into your, what the hell is it called? Control DC. So your control DC is a 43 currently. You have a plus 59 stability. You can go ahead and roll that whatever you want. It's going to be somewhat anticlimactic because you can't fail because you're badass. Oh shit, I just did that over. I just ruined the rolls. Oh, chat can't even see the rolls. I fucked that up. You guys can't even see the results. I'll fix it in a second for you guys. That's hilarious. He got a 75 on 43 because I typed it in the wrong spot like a dummy. He got a 75 on 43. After that is going to be your where the fuck are you? Upkeep phase. So because you had 0 unrest, right? Or did you have 1 unrest?
I had 0.
Okay, so that means you're going to give yourself an extra BP. If you want to go ahead and give yourself that extra BP, that'd be great. I clicked on the wrong spot like a dummy. You got the give yourself a BP?
Yeah, I did.
Perfect. After that is going to be pay your consumption. So the consumption for Clan Densho, which chat can't see at the moment,
0.
is 0, like you just said. So that's beautiful. You don't have to worry about anything there. After that is going to be your fill vacant magic item slots. Do you have any vacant magic item slots? Please take a second to look over your different kingdom areas. You're 100% sure?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm almost done setting this back up for you guys. Where the fuck are you there? Okay. After filling vacant magic item slots, it's going to be modified on rest, which you have 0. Cool. Now we're going to go into your assign leadership phase. So when it comes to assigning leadership, is there anything that you need to, anybody that you need to move around, anything you need to change there, sir?
No.
So you're good to go.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. And after that is going to be claim or abandon hexes. That's literally your reminder saying don't screw up, don't be late. So it's time to claim or abandon hexes. Do you know which hexes you're going to claim, sir?
I do. Are you looking at the map?
I am looking at the map in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay. That one.
Yep.
That one.
Yep.
And the hill up here.
Ooh, okay. You even went upwards a little bit. All right. Cool. Give me 2 seconds. I'll get those set up for you. So it's going to be a kappa pasta. And then those 2 down there. 1 and 2. So we gave you 1 hill and 2 plains. So going over to Clan Densho, we're going to make sure we add that onto your sheet. That you got 2 plains at 17. Oh, sorry, you are correct. So it's back to 15 and 2 desert. Thank you, sir. And that gives you a 4th hill, which is very exciting. That brings your consumption up to 3. Did you pay? I'm paying you 3 BP right now, so I get you down to 31. Immediately after that,
What am I paying? Wait, what am I paying 3 BP for?
Claiming the 3 hexes.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
After that, you're going to build terrain improvements. You can do a maximum of 3 terrain improvements. Do you know what they are?
Yeah, I'm building 2 farms.
Okay, where are they?
One here.
Yep.
And one on the hill, which costs extra.
Tell me how much it costs on the hill, and are these also
4,
fertile?
I believe. Yeah.
Okay. Double check that cost.
So if you've got the thing open, is it 4 for a hill?
To what? Put a farm on it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's what it is, 4 on a hill. Then so you're spending 6 total. So your 31 becomes a 25 for treasury. All right. Immediately after that, we're going to do your buildings and whatnot. What buildings are you working on? So going back over to Clan Dead Show, let's see what you're currently working on for projects versus starting new ones. And then I think at this point, we're going to have to stop you immediately after this, right? So there's nothing being built in Nochi. There's Inkabe.
Nope.
There is
the castle, the military academy, which is 11.
Castle goes down. The military academy costs it's 6, right?
Yep.
So you just spend 6. And then your temple, are you covering some of that, or is that free for you?
No, this is the last week I get it for free. Last month.
Okay.
I have to pay 2 the next one.
Okay, cool. So you just only spent 6 BP just now for all that building so far, correct?
No,
11 because of the castle. That's right. So that brings your 25 down to 14. And then, sir, right after that, your any buildings you're starting right now. I believe you had an airy, an herbalist, and a crematorium or something like that.
All 3 of them.
Can you do 3? I thought you can only do 2 buildings. 2 buildings.
Is it only 2?
Yeah.
We can do 3 improvements. That's probably what the confusion is.
I thought because I had increased my.
That's 3 hex. That's 3 hexes.
Hexes. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll do 2. I'll do herbalist and airy.
Okay.
That'll only cost me.
How much?
6.
Of those? So what does herbalist cost you, and how long does it take?
It costs 6 BP over 2 months, but it's half covered.
So hold on. So it's usually 6 BP a month for 2 months.
Yep.
So it's going to be how many months left? 1 month.
1 month.
And then it's 3 BP.
Yep.
So you're paying how much you're out of pocket? 3.
3.
Okay, I did it right now. You're down to 11. And then for the area, how much is that's what you're doing the area? How much? How long?
Yeah, that is 18 BP, 3 months.
So that's usually 666.
Yes.
Are you paying that all out of pocket?
No.
Okay, how much? So 2 months left,
3.
and how much are you paying out of pocket?
3.
3 BP. And so that is. Give me 1 second. I'll try to push this over just a little bit. All right. And I'm just anal in how it looks. Okay, there we go.
Can I claim another district now?
Hold on. So give me 1 second. So you just did 3 BP 3 BP off of the area, right? So that gets you from 11 to 8. Cool. Claiming a district is, if I remember correctly, it's actually part of
hex claims,
hex claims, I think. You may just give me 1 second to double check this. You can only claim a hex as adjacent to first You claim a hex you abandon number of hexes equals builds terrain improvements depending on the site for the hex construction Oh, you have to prepare it. I think you have to. No, the hex has already been prepared. That's right.
No, I believe every time you want to make a new district, you have to prepare the hex again because you're preparing a new spot of the hex for the district.
So, and preparing is a terrain improvement, so you can do that next time. Okay.
I get 3 terrain improvements. I only did 2.
And you just did, what were the 2 that you just did? So you did 2 farms. Yeah,
2
you're
farms.
right. Yeah, cool. And it's only 1 BP, and it's instantaneous to prepare a plains, right?
Plains.
Cool. So in that case,
I'll do that.
Give me 1 second to make sure that you can actually expand on the city. You may create a settlement in a claimed hex. Improvement maximum number of settlements you can establish per turn. The improvement edicts tells you the maximum number of settlements you may establish a turn. So I'm going to go up there in 1 second to tell you what that is. Improvement edicts. Give me 1 second. I'm going to just get up there. And then again, I know you have to get out of here. I don't want to hold you.
I've still got a good 10 minutes before I have to leave. So
Oh,
you
okay,
don't
okay.
rush
Those
too
are just your warnings. Okay. What's your kingdom size?
much. Yeah. Kingdom size.
It was 24 prior to this, right? So it's 21
Yeah.
prior to this. So at 21, you were allowed to make 1 new settlement, 2 buildings, 3. So I believe instead of creating a new settlement, you may create new army units, expand on existing army units, or bring an existing city, upgrading a building, destroy a building towards. So this counts as creating a new settlement. So you can still do a district if you'd like. I believe a district costs what, 1 BP, or am I wrong on that?
I thought it was 1.
So,
Is it not just the preparation time?
there's preparation, but then to actually establish the what's it called?
It might be. I'm looking for the
District
rules on
increases
that.
your it increases your the stability check or the DC or whatever, but
I'm checking if I was right on the rules on that. Anyway.
you must prepare for construction of a settlement despite this improved clearing of trees. That's on the terrain improvement. So terrain improvement. We go into terrain improvement. Let's make sure we're good here. So let's look at the preparation. Preparation H3. Preparation time is the amount of time. Preparation cost represents the PP declare a hex of preparation for founding new settlements. See, I feel like it just costs to start a new district. Is it under the settlements tab? Let me go district. So you can use the district of the grid. You may want to district is most settlements have 1 district. If your district grid is full, you want to add another district. For example, if you run out of allotments, you want to construct another district. You can create an additional district for that settlement by paying the preparation cost for the settlement's terrain as listed on. Remember that control DC goes up for the number of districts. The placement of buildings in your district. Okay, yeah, you paid that. That means instantaneously you unlocked another district, Jake. Boom. Which district did you want to do? I imagine the one with the ruins.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna set this up for
Am
you.
I able to build in it this turn? Because you can always build a house, right?
You can always build a house. That is
Yeah.
not counted. So you would absolutely do that. Do you know where you'd like to build a house? And,
Yeah, I do.
And houses cost what, 4?
Yeah, I think so.
And they also reduce 1 on rest, which you don't have, but that's fine. Where did you want the house to be?
Right there.
Yeah. Did I hit the right color? Oh shit. What's the right color? Is it this the right color? Nope. Is this the right color? I think so. Yeah. House there. Cool. So pay the 4 BP. I'll add the house to your thing, and nothing was completed in your settlements yet.
No.
Okay. So house, I'm gonna add 1 for you. House. So you now officially have 4 houses. Okay. Just confirming that.
You're on the treasury spot.
I'm on the treasury spot.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
On the sheet, your little thing is there. Just click off it on the kingdom thing.
Oh, sorry. My apologies. I understand.
Yeah, you're good.
Yep, I gotta do it my other one because I have that open twice. So 8 goes down to 4. Boom. This is one of the most.
Oh,
was one of the fastest kingdom rolls ever. Okay, so he's.
Well, when you know, I planned it all out. So
Oh, I know
when
you
you
did.
plan them like completely, there.
You're planning when you showed me that after that
15,
session
20
where you got to do nothing. I was like, you made sales planning look like trash, and we won't talk about it.
I have my other district fully planned out too. So
I feel inadequate suddenly.
You're not creating any army units, right? You're not issuing any edicts, correct? Or actually, were you going to start to slow down your aggressive expansion, or did you want to keep it going for 1 more?
Actually, I will because I can claim 2 on the next one, right?
Correct,
all I
which
need.
gets you to the next tier.
Yeah, I will bring it back then.
Beautiful. So, because your people fucking love the aggressiveness that you are, you, sir, have to make a loyalty check to succeed. But again, because of how aggressive your people are, you've expanded a lot in what the past couple turns. I'm gonna make you take a loyalty check with a -4. So you're rolling with a +41 against your control DC of 47.
+41.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just roll it in the roll 20.
Yep.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Huge.
Crushed it. You have absolutely no problems. You can absolutely go from expansion down to, what's it called? Aggressive down to normal, standard, I think. Which, by the way, your consumption...
Goes back to 0.
It should have been 0 anyways after you put the... Oh, I didn't put your farms in there.
Oh, yeah, it should
Were
have.
those fertile farms?
Yes.
So those
Shit.
are 13. You have 13 fertile farms. Holy shit. Because you could have a maximum of, I think, 14. So your consumption just brought down to a -6.
Yep.
Well, because you have 2 stockyards. So in theory, each honeycomb is 7, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yep.
this one overlaps.
Do I
so.
have...
You have what?
We just count them real quick. I think I have all the slots filled. Yeah, I do because one of them overlaps. So
That's right. Okay, cool. And then, yeah, so you have 13 fertile farms. So again, your consumption is -6. So if you have any empty granaries, you know what I'm saying, they'll be able to be filled up next time. Cool. I don't want to keep you any longer. We're now, you're not withdrawing any BP. You're not making any deposits. You're not selling anything. Fucking collect your taxes, buddy. As for your taxes, roll your luck first. Do that real quick.
Two.
I didn't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Thank you. So 2. Go ahead, fill your whole thing. And don't forget, sir, that you have 0 bonus BP at the ends there. You have no bonus BP this time around.
Yeah.
Just confirming that. Just letting it load back up. Confirming nobody gave any. Nope. Just let's see. Ooh. Axon gave a bit of luck, so I got to add that in there. But otherwise, cool. You can finish rolling your BP.
All right, I just got to check because it changed. So 57, 46, 60.
Can he get another natty 20, chat? Can he get another natty 20? Can he do it?
All right, that's updated. Next collection. I rolled 2 16s, so I don't know how good that's going to be right now. Luck is 2. 3.
What, Brittany said she just went there? What do you mean you just went there? Question mark. Nick said that place is crazy expensive!
26.
Exclamation point.
All right, 26 BP. I'll add.
All right, so 26 BP, add it to your character sheet. Boom, boom, boom. You are good to go. She literally just said, no problem, done. I just went there, my boy toy, so I guess I can take you too. You're buying. What the fuck?
No, see you in about 40 minutes.
All right, bye. That was crazy awesome.
Bye.
Impressive. Awesome, Jake. Show Jake some love. All right. That was really, really impressive. All right, cool. I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. I'm not going to turn off the screen. So if you guys want to get any advice from chat about what you need to do next, I think Cell is technically up next. Feel free to chat with him.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I know. I'm legit going to go pour a cup of coffee. I'll be back in like maybe 3 minutes. Okay?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it so soon.
Absolute chat indeed. That was like truly impressive. All right, I'll be right back.
That beats my like 30-minute run. Holy shit. I'm counting for all my BP expenses at the moment. So that's 10.
I wasn't paying attention. What do you need to do to open up another district again?
You have to prepare the hex. Again, the preparation cost and time. For planes, that's 1 and it's immediate. And then you have to, and then you get the district. So for your future jungle city, right, it's going to have a much steeper cost and time to get more. Because the jungle takes 4 months and 12 BP to prepare. I'm in the same boat. My capital in the volcano takes 4 months and 12 BP to prepare a district. which isn't great, obviously.
Let's see. I'm debating if I should
And then,
keep.
but Nick knows it increases the consumption of DC, right? That's on the sheet. He just didn't know what the preparation was.
Like,
I assume.
do I keep building up my current capital, or do I make my hilltop jungle city my new capital?
You should add a river to your kingdom tiles, Nick. I don't think you have one added. It adds like 0.125 to like economy or whatever, but who knows? Maybe that could round you up to a whole number.
A river to my kingdom tiles? Wait.
If you look at terrain, and
we're going. We're doing. We're extending the river.
Yeah,
so that's happening.
No, but I know. I was checking your sheet the other day when I was doing some testing for stuff. If you look, where is it? Here. Chat can't see it, but there's it's right above road, 2 above sawmill. There's a river section, which you own a river.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It adds like, so just put a 1 in there because it adds like a 0.125 to like economy and stability or something. It's nothing super special, but you know, it might round you up a number. So, but I was looking at it when I was doing tests with the sheet to get an estimation of how the NPC sheets functioned as if they were to make static kingdoms of our size, and it worked roughly well.
I just got clarity. The reason why I was confused was because she typoed. She meant to say, I just went there with my boy toy, so I guess I could take you too. But she forgot the word with, so it completely changed the context of the thing. She's actually never been there before. She's like, I know what it is because I'm something along the lines of I'm a person that's of higher quality than you. I don't remember her phrasing was. So, but she's like, of course I know what that is. So yeah, she's never been. So cool. Check it out sometime, I guess.
Is Kiko
I did tell her.
alive?
I did tell her that Sam gets pasta, and she's like, "Why?" Like, I don't know. Likes pasta.
Because she's an Italian girl from Warwick. That's why she gets pasta.
Do you want to describe her one more time to Ano so he can hear that? Ano prides himself on being German. I mean Italian.
Fucking Otto. What a cringe lord.
Yeah. He's like, I'm totally Italian. That's why I live in Munich. All right.
Well, like, what is Italian anyway? Italians, like, they were like the American of the past. You guys were a melting pot anyway. Like, what are Italians? They're just mutts.
I mean, it was a lot of different peoples put together. So.
And they're like their best things they stole from China anyway, like everyone else.
The Silk Highway. Is that what it's called? The Silk Highway?
Silk, noodles, pizza.
Everybody got their share. That's why they do the shipping too. All right, we good?
Yeah.
Joey says mute. No, it's not. Our country is named America.
I mean, it was named after an Italian explorer.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. Is it United States of Italian words? Sorry. United States of? Those sound very Italian. United States of.
That's not what that. You're being fucking pedantic.
Of course I am.
That one hurt. That one hurt bad.
Yeah, I was stupid. All right, cool. So do we know what you're doing next? Is it? It's not.
Yeah, I got
it's
a rough
not.
idea.
It's not playing Warmonger unless we make Nick sit here and just watch you do your kingdom rolls and take all the luck.
Holy shit! I don't believe this. I don't even use more luck. I use as much luck as anyone else here.
Can I get a sell true? I want a true, right there.
Oh yeah, isn't that an? Do you still stream still? I feel like I haven't seen you live in forever.
I do whenever I'm feeling like it,
Oh,
which is
okay.
not often because a lot of schoolwork. I'd rather sit down in pajamas, looking half dead, playing video games at 1 a.m. Honestly, English doesn't derive a lot from Italian. Honestly, I can listen.
Poll started.
I'll crack a what do you call it? GIMP open up again, okay, and I'll make an emote. That's what I did the last emote. I'll make one out.
Did you ever get affiliate?
Yeah, I already got an affiliate.
Okay, so as an affiliate now, they changed the rules. You get way more emotes than you did before. Beforehand, they're like, you have to earn 1 emote. Now they're like, you can have like 10. So you should definitely get some going. Even just things that you just Photoshop. Just like a couple words.
Well, that's what I do.
Yeah. Just like cute little things. Things that don't,
I got a drawing tablet over here because I like to make maps. So maybe I can try it out. I'm not really good at drawing though. I can make maps though.
That's okay. It's just fun. Chill streams are just fun for hanging out. You know what I mean? Especially if you're not a huge fan of your roommates.
No, I love my roommates. All right.
Oh, that's rare in college. That's cool. Good for you.
Well, I mean, I've in my old apartments, I liked my roommates too. I mean, okay, listen, they only voted for it, all right, because it's a meme, and I will believe no other truth. All right, actually, 36%. That's pretty close to 33. Yeah, look. All right, I can accept this. That I might use a little more luck than other people. But my old apartment, my first roommate, Scott, Buck was great, obviously. But my other roommates, I didn't have a lot in common with them. They were more like, they're less gamers, I guess. But my roommates now, I've been friends with them for a couple of years. They're from Overwatch, so we're all gamers and shit.
Cool. I mean, it's the fact that you're able to, like, again, it's rare to have roommates that you enjoy spending time with. I mean, Nick and I did the age-old mistake. We were best friends that moved in together. It was great sometimes. It was just roommates sometimes, and then it was... We eventually went separate ways, and it was a good thing. So, listen, I know how much it is to live with me. I know how much it is to spend 3 hours with me. So I get it.
Do we want to...
It's even worse when he hates your girlfriend.
Yeah, but to be fair, though, you also hated that girlfriend.
Yeah, that's why I slept with her.
Let's move away from this.
Okay, let's pull back. Do you want to start doing like my kingdom rules, I guess?
Let's see. Start doing your kingdom rolls. I think yes we do. My apologies. Hey, I think Nick needs another hype train, by the way. I think his kingdom's still the one that's hurting. Right, Nick? Don't you because you're all caught up aside from your advisor level up, right? Yeah, the level up they have to do because he's a follower. Or are you good?
Yes. Yeah. Eric Hoof is jumping to level 6. I think Karzug needs to jump to level 5.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything I can do with them in that, but that's a separate conversation. So
Scott,
Yeah.
take my building path sheet, all right, and send it to Nick's and Jake's sheet.
Oh, Nick won. Level up for Nick. So
Why does he get all the hype train? I don't even like care, right? That it's not me, but it's every single one.
Send your what
Nick.
to Nick? Send your what to Nick?
This isn't. I mean, Nick kind of needs it, all right. But it's impressive how unified chat is on it. That's all. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
He really needs it.
how is it? Is it unified or is it just Ano? Because I feel like Ano.
Actually, that was
no matter
Snaga.
what.
That was Snaga that did 9 votes. So
It's literally not.
okay. So
Why is Steve trying to make things even? That makes no sense to me. The world is wrong.
Yeah. That's why. Don't worry. The session's gonna blow up. Sell. Look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. Right here. Hey there, baby.
I'm looking at you. I was looking.
You asked me to send somebody something.
Yes, the building path sheet on my kingdom sheet.
The building what?
Go to my kingdom.
Your kingdom.
There's a new sheet. It's called Building Paths. It has all the buildings, which ones upgrade, which one from where they upgrade, and what they upgrade to.
I understand. I
and
understand
the
what you're
discounts.
asking me to do. Okay, cool.
Yes,
cool,
give it to them. So it's
Awesome.
easier to find it because scanning through the books
I'm
is a
gonna
nightmare.
give this to you. I'm gonna send this
It's a nightmare to manage
do I press
otherwise.
Duplicate or copy to? Copy to
You
existing
send
spreadsheet.
yeah, copy.
And then
to.
I click Warmonger, and then can I do two at the same time? Kushi and Densho? No.
One second, let me add one thing to it. Temple
gotta do
is now
one.
upgrading to a cathedral.
Oh, motherfucker. So
You can just add it. Who cares?
I'm waiting until you're done,
forgot
and then I'll.
Yeah, well, because we just added this. We decided this, you know, a couple days ago. Okay. Since the current system is dumb, how for some reason
And by the way,
Shrine Temple.
Jake is still due his tasks. Just so we all remember.
All right, done. You can send it over.
All right, cool. I'm gonna send this to Nick, to Jake first, and to Nick first, so he has something to play with. Unless Nick, while you're waiting for him, are you gonna do one of your level ups right now? Because we're about to do his shit.
Shit.
I probably should, but
Actually, wait. I don't have one more thing in there.
when transitioning Eric to a follower, I was going to see if I could transfer him away from being a adept into a full-on druid.
Scott doesn't let us do this.
What? Then what's the point? I could just make a druid at level 6 and not keep Eric.
Where are you gonna make the druid? Your
No,
followers are
we're
NPC
not.
classes.
Yeah, we're not.
No, they're not.
Not by the rules, but
They're-
that's how
they're-
Scott wants to do it.
By rules, there is
Yeah,
nothing in there.
But there's no druids that exist
Oh.
here because there's no high magic here. So a level 6 druid is way more magic. That's way more powerful. As a matter of fact, I think you have the most powerful follower out of everybody, advisor out of everybody with Ryan. Because Ryan is an actual alchemist. He actually has like spells. Nobody else is that.
Well, I have Lenny.
Oh, I suppose Lenny, but Lenny's, arcane
Listen,
conquest, so he doesn't belong
we-
to you.
We've talked about this. Nick,
Listen,
all right?
listen. I'm gonna put this in Shadow terms. Lenny cows
No,
to
just
more,
go.
Lenny
Just
cows
go.
to 2 masters. So
One level of druid's pointless compared to adepts. At least you'll have second level spells at level 6.
right. So adept actually, I think level 6 adept still has second level spells, but at level 7 they get third level spells.
I think so, yeah. But we can't make followers level 7, so
I thought they cap it at level 7. Am I wrong?
level 6.
Level 6. Okay, gotcha. Why do you want level 6 druid?
I mean, so you can get third level spells.
Is that why?
Actually, I'm actually building everything up so Naren's heir has like master tutors for everything.
So what I could see is when you finally have your kingdom built to a point where you can establish making and training druids and so on and so forth, you can at that point in time do conversions. Like you can be like, oh, I'm going to convert him over to druid now, right? So like, when you have like a sacred grove and this, that, and the other thing, because you can see the characters progressing. Because if we just like stonewalled your characters, that'd be boring, right? This is why the idea, like in the future, I'm totally going to do this over again. Not this campaign, but a different campaign as an epic 6. Because that way you always have that like really cool progression that like you always feel like you're walking forward. All right. So yes, eventually, but not yet. Your kingdoms just aren't there yet.
I can do that. I have a plan to make all that anyway. That's
Cool.
fine.
That's like saying I'm going from Mongol to winning Civ 6 with spacefaring.
So what you're saying is I will be able to get people converted to clerics, bards, and wizards when I build my bardic college. Magical Academy.
Not immediately and not a bunch at once, but in theory, not in theory, you actually will be able to do that over time. It's just not like it's they're all there.
Yeah,
you don't
know.
just instantly become fucking Paradise.
I would argue I should get at least inquisitors or clerics earlier because I've been focusing the religious aspect of it since day one.
What does Anno have to say to this?
I think it's very reasonable.
Excuse me. What does Anno have to say to this?
Anno is literally you could ask anyone else and I would take their opinion.
Excuse me,
more
it's Anno's birthday
right.
in an hour and a half. I want to know what his opinion is.
No one asked Anno. All right.
I just asked Anno!
No one asked you. No.
Wow.
Hey, listen.
Like
Actually, I can't say
your
that.
fate like, is in the balance of his hands, and you're like,
all right.
like
Besides the memes, I actually appreciate Ano because I liked his got him to give me feedback on the NPC sheet because you took it and waited 2.5 weeks before responding.
So he actually appreciates Anno. That means the rest of you fuck off.
that's not true. He appreciates Joey too. The rest of them can fuck off though.
At least stonewall him. No, I mean I don't care. I'll get it whenever Scott wants to let me have it. Doesn't matter what chat says.
Oh my God,
This is the
Tyler,
truth,
that's
too.
right. Because we didn't play when it was your actual birthday. We played the week afterwards, and it was a whole week later, so I forgot. So we definitely have to do something for your birthday this upcoming session. That is 100% true. Absolutely. All right.
So
cool. Let's do your actual kingdom rolls now, huh?
yeah, let me roll upkeep phase. What is my upkeep phase?
And Amanda, you don't get to choose his. Ooh, who wants to choose what his birthday gift is? If you want to have some say onto, and no joke stuff, like this has to be legit. It can't be OP, but it has to be legit options. If you want to highlight your text using channel points, I will take the first 5 suggestions I like in highlighted text as options for birthday gifts for Tyler. Like
You gave me an Ion Stone.
yeah,
Give him one.
I think it's pronounced Yoon.
I'd say Ion. All right.
I actually used to say Ion Stone for the longest time, and I changed it to Yoon like maybe 6-ish years ago, 5-ish years ago.
Everyone else I watch play D&D says Ion, so I don't know. Either way, Ion Stones are really cool.
All right, hold on. Let me just send something to Otto real quick.
I'm rolling my upkeep phase once I make sure my kingdom is correct. My mic's like right in the way of the kingdom tab. It's very annoying. 56, 49, 55. Cool.
We good, Otto? Yeah, you can read that and you can respond in Twitch.
I'm scared.
How good we are.
Hey, I succeed.
Okay. So yep, upkeep phase. Absolutely, that was sexy. You succeeded. I actually didn't even start looking at your sheet yet, so give me 1 second.
You're good. My unrest dropped by 1, so now I'm at 0. It's been a long journey back to 0 after I hit 11 for a quick second.
Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna click over here. We're gonna get a shadow sheet. So we're gonna cut and paste over here, and then we're gonna come back over here.
I should
Cool.
check Discord. I asked Keegan what he wants to do.
Oh yeah, Keegan was about.
Yeah, I added him in the Shadow chat just to see what he wants to do with his BP. Be cool if
Okay.
I assume when you say Diplo with Densho, you're saying Diplo with Throne. But we have to wait for Jake's thing on that. I have to petition him for aid on that too.
That sounds like a bad translation from Russian. It's like I wash my hands in innocence. Like
Okay.
Well-
What's next? All right, I did my upkeep phase. What's next?
absolutely, sorry. So you did your upkeep phase, which is sexy. You crushed it. Next up is going to be your pay consumption. I believe you have a consumption of 0 on
A
the
fat
nose
0.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
3C thick 0.
It's
After
a
that's
pretty-
going to be fill your magic item slots. Do you have how many magic item slots do
do.
you have?
I have 2, or I have 1. Sorry.
Is this full empty? What's that other slot?
It's any item. It's a minor magic item.
So a minor
Base-
magic item, like a wondrous item, or what is it? Or something else?
It's a minor magic item. It can be any.
Oh, it can be
It's
anything. Oh, cool.
It's a temple.
Hey, can
So
you
you can
can you
make any.
choose because
Well,
no, I don't care actually who you choose in chat. Anybody can roll. But there's
The
a-
base value is 500 as well. My town has very low base value because I'm building a shop soon.
Good
So
luck.
Anna, roll me a D100. Oh no, Xylemos said me. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't reach out till I saw it. All right, roll me a D100. It's gonna be sucky, whatever it is, but
No, that's about 50. Okay, cool. Before they keep rolling, is that who you
Xylemos
wanted?
can roll the next one. Yeah, that's fine. Xylemos can do the next one for the item.
Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. So now that you are making items, Salamos, go ahead and roll for me.
Yeah.
And then who's gonna roll after Salamos? 62.
Tyler
62
can do
is
it.
gonna be a scroll. Interesting.
Ooh, that could be very useful.
It's gonna have
Except
to be
I
an
can't
arcane
use
scroll, so
it. Well, it would have to be a cleric scroll,
it has to
right?
be Lenny.
No,
He's
but
gonna
it's the
agree
temple
scroll.
making it.
Oh, gotcha.
So can I even use that?
Do
of
you want
course I
100,
can.
Tyler?
I have. Who do you tell it?
85.
Rima.
85 is a second level spell.
That's less than 500. Yeah, it's 300.
Yep, is a second level spell, and then I just have to get a list of the spells. So you're saying this is cleric or what?
It has to be cleric. It's from the temple.
Okay.
It would make no sense.
Don't give me
Otherwise.
attitude, boy.
I'm sorry for the attitude. True, but also it's a temple, right? It's cleric stuff, right?
I'm just busting you. D20 SRD scrolls.
And Rima can also read scrolls.
So
that are
who
on
wants
the
to
wizard list.
roll this scroll for you? And you said you want it to be divine, so who's gonna roll for you?
Keegan.
Keegan! Give me that last one,
Why not?
boyo. It wasn't a third level. If he was like a couple digits higher, it would have been a third level scroll.
Oh, that would have been really cool, but
88 from
88.
Keegan. Keegan rolled summon monster level 2. That's actually like it's not. Well, the problem is it only lasts
It's
for three
rounds.
But
Kind of sucks.
But no, hold on. But if you imagine the display of power in the Barren Lands or Kajinxi for being able to summon a creature from nowhere, I think of the connotations more than the mechanics, right?
Yeah, well, this is good for Rima because Rima is the one that can cast this.
Also,
ooh,
the list of
can
what you
she?
can summon is pretty badass. You said Rima can do this. What's her alignment?
I don't know if she can do this. I don't know if summon monsters an Inquisitor spell.
I'm sorry, can you
Is
say that
it-
one more time?
I don't know if it's an Inquisitor spell or not.
I believe it is, but that's fine either way. So what's her alignment?
I think we have most of my advisors is just on true neutral. I don't think you've ever gave them alignments.
Okay.
Although I would assume Rima might be.
Rima, I think, is a little bit more spirited, shall we say.
Yeah, chaotic probably.
I don't think she's chaotic. She just has a past.
Most of my people are going to lean towards good, I imagine, except Atelia.
Chat, I've received 5 suggestions. You're welcome to give 1 or 2 more, so I could throw, 1 or 2 away. So if you haven't spoken up with an idea for an item for Tyler's character in the other campaign, feel free to chime in. Go ahead, sir.
Summon monster is not an Inquisitor spell.
Okay, so shall we re-roll then?
Keegan,
roll for me one more time.
Yeah,
One more time, BB.
because I don't have any clerics proper.
A 21 is a cure moderate wounds. That's actually pretty fucking badass.
That's probably way better.
Yeah. It is a spell, and being able to suddenly heal 2d8 plus 3 is a lot.
That
So-
could be very in handy. I had to buy it though. It's
for-
250, right?
Funny enough, it's 250, but what level is Rima?
Well, she's not making the scroll. The
Oh, that's
temple
right,
is.
that's right. But it's up to 500 gold pieces, right? And cure
Yeah.
moderate wounds is going to be, I believe the cost for it is going to be 50 gold pieces times caster level.
Well, I think it's 125 is what it is for the second level scroll.
No, it's 150. I'm looking at it right now.
Is it? Oh, then that's what it is.
So it's I think it's 50 times caster level. So we could actually make that a caster level 5, so its value is 250 gold pieces.
She's level
That-
4.
That doesn't matter, because that makes it so it's 2d8 plus 5 healing. That's legit.
How much? 500 gold pieces though?
No, 250 gold pieces in value.
250. Yeah, that's fine. We can do that. I'm fine. Cool that. Cast level 5.
No, Amanda.
right.
No.
I'll
Bad.
mark it.
Bad. Down.
I'll change this. Cure moderate. I should buy this then. Because her just having this on her at all times could be clutch. Although she can already transmute spells to healing, I think. But Inquisitors don't get a lot of spells anyway. Comment. Not comment. Note. Sorry, I'm for everyone in chat. I'm just inserting a note for his caster level.
How would that make perfect lore-friendly sense? I don't understand how that would be make more sense for lore, Keegan. And back to you, Cell. So, we good? Good. Okay.
Yeah, that's my magic item. Sorry, I was just filling out my stuff.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
That's exciting.
Yeah, you actually got a magic item that's worth your party buying. Like somebody in your party should actually buy that 250 gold piece item. So back to you. After that is going to be modify on rest, which I think you had 0. Hold on, let me just click back over.
Yeah, I do have 0.
So did you have 0 when you rolled for your upkeep?
No.
Oh, so you brought it to
No.
0. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for being
I brought it
honest.
to 0.
I've assigned leadership. I don't think you need to assign leadership in your kingdom, do you?
Nope, I am pretty good.
Anno, I'll check it out in a minute because I don't want to get too distracted. Okay, and that's you're good. Any changes you need to make to the skull sheet? As a reminder, chat, just so you guys know, if you're looking at the skull sheet and you're like, why do so many of those characters, Tony, have why do so many of those characters have two positions? As a reminder for what I do for my kingdoms is if your kingdom size is 1 to 10, it's treated as a city state. I started doing this after we were done with Valoran. Back when Valoran was still just known as the town name, the K town, whatever the town name is. But once you hit 11 in your kingdom size, people can only have 1 position unless they have a special feat that allows them to have 2. But if you're smaller than 11, if you're 10 or less, each person can hold 2 kingdom positions freely without a feat. Cursefall, thank you, Steve. Steve shaking his head at me.
It's funny, I couldn't even find the sheet, but I have it pinned in the other chat so I could find it. Yeah, I figured this is probably a good thing, right? The Warlord's hard, and then everyone else is below them except Helena, which technically is supposed to have 4, but it doesn't really matter too much.
My tooth is shaped funny right now. Until this upcoming Thursday, my tooth will be shaped funny. So I keep biting my jaw because it's actually very sharp on the outside. So I keep like just barely biting my my cheek, and it fucking sucks. Ugh.
No, the sheet's good. I don't see anything I'm touching with it.
Okay. Let's move on. After that is going to be claim or abandon hexes.
I'm claiming 2 hexes, obviously.
All right, let's see where they are.
I'm gonna claim. Fuck.
No, thank you. I'm not interested.
I'm gonna hold off. I was gonna claim on Thorin's voter, but I'm trying to make peace with him. I'm gonna have to work out an arrangement with them.
I mean, if I were to make a suggestion, I would suggest
I'm claiming this hex
to the hills, because the hills give you defensible positions.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm claiming this hex.
Huh?
This hex.
Okay, yep, that one. What's next?
So, and then this hex.
Okay. Are you building Are you building anything on either of these?
Yeah, I'm gonna build.
Oh, thanks, Keegan.
That's 2 BP. So I have 23. Farm is 2 each, so that's I'm gonna build 2 farms.
So you build 2 farms, and these farms are gonna go on maybe well, you can't do down here. Actually, this one right here shouldn't really have had a farm on it because you don't have irrigation on there, do you?
Why not?
Because
farms can be built next to farms.
Because it's a desert. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, this is desert.
I saw a different color. I saw a different color, and I was like, bad.
Yeah, you're good. I'm building a farm there, and then I'll build a. I don't want to build it on Bench's border, honestly.
Do you want to build it? Do you want to build a 3rd farm right here?
Oh wait, can I build 3?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I can, but I'm not. I'm building a road. I'm gonna continue the roads to
that makes sense. Okay, you're gonna have to give me a minute to do this. Can you update your sheet with the 2 more farms, and then can you count and make sure you have the correct number of farms on the map versus what you actually have in your sheet? Because I already added them on the map.
Yeah, give me just a quick sec as I make sure my roads. Actually, I need to know where my roads are. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's fine. 9. And how much is a road on a plains? Is it? I
think it's 2.
2? That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Spending a lot on my BP here.
Yep.
19 minus 2 is 17.
9, 10,
Don't have a whole lot of BP.
13 total farms. Does that sound accurate? 7 and 6 equals 13. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. So 13 total farms, getting your consumption to -2, even though you've expanded a bit, which is good news.
Yep. I'm at 23.
So is that 9 roads total?
Yep. I added that in already.
You're at 23 what?
23 hexes, meaning I have to wait 2 more turns before I get to next kingdom size.
You could have expanded your whatchamacallit and done it this turn. Oh, no. You had to do it 2 turns ago. Never mind.
Well, I could have. I guess I could go. My people aren't aggressive expansionists, though.
Okay, let's get through the next part because I want to see what it was that Anno sent me so I can finish checking out the suggestions. A no bad down stick, Steve. That's an interesting one.
And now buildings.
So let's see. Buildings is the next part.
So cool thing happens this turn. All right.
Fenitaru
My academy finishes.
Ooh, that's genuinely exciting. Okay, I'm gonna add it down below while you're doing that up top.
Yep. Theater 2 months ticked. 1 more month on the monastery.
Did I just fuck that up? No, okay.
And I have to minus 11 BP from my kingdom shoots.
Okay,
17.
and theater goes down to 2 months left. And did you pay all the monies for all this?
Yep, I've marked everything.
Okay, and Arioki, is there anything that's being built there? How about your monastery? Did that you already take
Marked
that down?
it. Yep.
Cool. All right, what new buildings are you starting with whatever amount of money you have left, which is probably a very small amount?
Wait, did we skip diplomacy already?
What do you mean?
The diplomacy edict?
That's part of the edicts is last.
Okay, cool.
So what are you doing for buildings?
I'm building a smithy.
Where are you building that?
At a yoki.
Where are you building that?
Here.
Okay. Is it done in 1 turn?
I think it is for 3 or 6 BP. Half of it's paid by Snaga.
Only found crystal Scott, and none of them seemed interesting. So yeah, that was my point. And cool, Tyler. I'm glad you found what we're talking about. So while he's looking for a second, Tyler. So they're called. I don't have the book on me. I'm sorry. They're like a type of crystals. They're like augment crystals, I think they are. And you can take them, and there's like least, lesser, and greater ones, which have different costs. And you can attach them to either masterwork +1 or +3 or greater items. And depending on the type of crystal and whether or not the item is compatible with it, and that's supposed to be meant as an inspiration. You don't have to do exactly what those are for 2 reasons. One, that is 3.5. You're in 5e, right? And then the other reason is we can always homebrew something else so that makes more sense to you for the for this local culture, so on and so forth. I love the augment crystals. I think they're super cool. And crystals are an important part of Aurorum, as we've seen a couple times so far. So, I mean, it's something to think about, but totally nothing you have to do, and it can enhance your shield, if you will. All right.
Oh, academies can focus on 1 knowledge or profession skill.
I imagine it's going to be profession soldiering. Oh wait, no. This isn't a military academy.
This is an academy.
Yeah.
Ooh, God, I haven't thought about this.
Give me 1 second. I want to.
Obviously, not mining. That's not what it's focusing on.
Let's go up to buildings. So it's academy, right? So it specifically says, +2 lore, +1 productivity, +2 society. So whatever building you put those in, you need. It's already been added. That's right. Increase lore bonus by 2 for questions relating to 1 knowledge or profession skill. That could be profession smithing. It could be knowledge dungeoneering. It could be profession prostitution. Whatever you'd like.
Knowledge history.
So specifically history, huh?
Yeah, I think.
That to me, I understand why that makes sense. But that's really what the academy is for.
Well, I mean, it's basically a stepping stone to eventually get like a magical academy.
So think of it this way: when you have an important building like this, even if it's not mechanically important, you should always have a an NPC that oversees that building.
Okay.
You
So
know what
I
I
will
mean?
make a
Follow.
well, do I well can my curator just be that's the place they stay?
Holy shit, magic items. I'm sorry, keep going.
Can my curator be that's like the place they like stay at while in the kingdom? Because this is like their job, right? History.
Absolutely, 100%. Yes, yes, sir.
That's why because this is kind of been Tesla's kind of focus. Because I haven't told Chad about all the stuff I found out while I was in the north. So you guys to sit in the dust. But Ishai's whole thing is knowledge history, and they are really good at it. And Tesla has recently found himself really proficient in history with the help of an iron stone.
Okay, so then let's do this. And okay, I have my 7 suggestions. I'm going to try to read from Anno as I have time, and then I'll read these out loud so you guys can knock off a couple of them before we even put it to vote. All right, back to you, sir. So I don't need any more suggestions. Thank you guys for all the suggestions. Okay, cool. So you have that all plugged in. What new buildings are you working on, if any, if you can even afford any?
I already spent my money. I built a smithy with Joey.
Yep, that was it. Okay, cool. Done and done. And this is smithy's done instantly, right? You already added it down here?
Yep, all good, all added.
All right, perfect. Done and done. Then let's move on to the next part here. After you're done,
I want to do a diplomacy.
You obviously can't create any army units, so it's gonna be issue edicts. So who's doing what diplomacy where?
All right. Well, the slightly is important with Jake because I wanted to have Jake's aid in trying to bring peaceful relations with Throne.
Huh.
Using them to help put our best foot forward. Because, you know, they've really been the ones that have been fucking with me most of the time. But
Sure.
Hey,
Blame it on them.
perfect timing.
Cool. So
an IP.
why don't you have? I'm gonna read what Otto said. And
You were
set
summoned.
stuff up. Why don't you guys have a quick little RP real quick about that?
Well, we would go to Jake's stuff now, right?
Hang on.
Nope, he's gone.
He
Never
probably
mind.
just double-checking on his little one.
Yeah.
Um.
So how hard would my check be? Hostile? That makes the DC pretty rough. There are how many hexes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hexes. Is that how big Throne is? How many hexes is Throne?
Sorry. Throne, I have not updated on your sheet because you don't know how big they are.
Well,
But
need to know.
Throne isn't static. It's grown.
But I need to know for the diplomacy.
Oh. Do you now?
I do.
Okay, then give me 1 second.
Yeah. Well, they may have lost some land eventually because of the parent border, which wasn't my doing at all.
Well, that's an issue that I'll have to deal with in time. So I'll give me 1 second. I have to recount. Wow. It's actually 14.
Holy shit.
Holy shit, it
They
only
have-
went up by a few.
Well, it went from 10 to 14.
Once more with feeling.
What's their alignment?
I believe it's actually on your sheet, isn't it?
No, I have 2 question marks.
Oh, really?
Yep.
More with feeling.
Hello, Steve. I know what it is because I have it written somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's lawful neutral.
That's
there you go,
really
Steve.
not
Yep.
great.
Perfect. Lawful neutral.
Wow. Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, they're lawful neutral.
Once more.
Wait,
with
do they have?
feeling.
Well, they might have a treaty with Jake, which will lower the DC.
They actually do not have a treaty with Jake. Nope.
No, they might. Jake's gonna do one. I thought he said he
Jake's,
was.
Jake's
More
turn
with
passed.
feeling.
Well, no, he has his event phase.
That's not an event phase. That's an edict phase.
Ah, well, he may have forgot. He said he wanted to do it. Hey, wait for Jake
Once more with feeling.
because I don't think I can even do that DC, even with Ilya. Yeah, that DC is actually impossible.
Once
So I
more
guess I'm not
with
doing that.
feeling.
So I mean, it's not impossible.
No, it is impossible.
Why is it impossible?
I would have to roll a natural 20.
Hold on. No, that's not true. Who are you sending there?
Aaliyah, the DC's a 45.
And what's her modifier?
23.
Okay, so first of all, holy shit, Steve. Second of all, thank you as well, Amanda. So for 10,000 bits from Steve, 100 bits from Amanda. Thank you to the two of you, as well as the 6, I think, total gift subs from Steve. Jesus Christ. Somebody else wants to get on. We can have another hype train going. That's already a fucking level 5 already, I bet. But back to you.
Wait.
Hold on. Back to you. But you can
Correction.
spend BP to change the DC.
I have 3 BP.
Hold on, wait, you don't have a relations mod. Hold on. Do you
I bet
have
wait, they're not hostile, right? They're unfriendly.
Or
Or are they hostile?
hold on. They have never
They're
openly
unfriendly.
attacked you. They're unfriendly. Yes.
Well, they have sent Broken Change members to
We went through this on my turn. They're unfriendly with you.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
makes
agree
more
with this.
sense to me.
The DC is still 40,
Yes.
which
And
has
you
a
spend BP to
15%
change it.
chance of success.
40% through a level 5 hype train. Holy shit! Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, but I don't know how much BP I can dedicate. I have to roll a
Nick needs
D4,
another hype train.
and I can only put 3 towards the BP, which is only -3. So it's like a 30% chance of succeeding, which isn't great.
Once more with feeling.
We don't have a relationship, right? Because they have nothing with Jake. They don't have a treaty. They don't have an embassy. They have nothing.
Jake, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys don't have an embassy. You don't have a treaty. You don't have anything with.
No, the
you guys
last
just
thing
have
I
good
did,
relations.
I got them from friendly to helpful, I think, which is the highest tier.
Correct.
Yeah.
All that is correct. Yes.
The only reason I didn't sell was because you were so adamant that if I
Well-
do a treaty with them, it's going to affect me really badly.
Feeling.
No, I said last time is that I don't know how you could justify it in game when these people have directly like antagonized your ally.
No, you said when I attack them,
Oh yeah,
it'll
if
be
we
bad mechanically for you.
if I
is what you
call
told
you
me.
if I call you into a war, you would suffer. Is what I said.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I was
5
saying.
hype train completed. Holy shit! Thank you.
Look,
Once more with
Jake, I'm trying to resolve this so you can get them as a vassal. So shut the fuck up.
You're taking them. What are you
No,
talking
I'm getting.
about?
I said you could have them. Remember?
All right. Well, why don't you just?
I'm trying to help you, Jake. So how about you stop fighting
Hey,
me?
listen. I got some stuff going on with Thoreau in a moment, but once again, I need 2 minutes.
You're good, sir. Go ahead. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I
so
know.
hold on.
I
hold
can't
on.
believe he's
so the
fighting
important
me on
thing,
this. I'm trying to help him.
hold on. An important thing to note is that well, he doesn't want to get involved because he doesn't want to fuck up his own shit. But hold on. The important thing to know about spending BP on this is actually unlike doing your advisor task. It's a 1-for-1. So instead of 16 BP for a +5 or whatever it is, 16 would be a +16.
I know.
So
I know. I have 3 BP left, if you recall.
yeah, I do.
Let me roll the D4. I'll try it. Whatever. Fuck it. Don't care.
So you're gonna roll the D4 to see how much it costs to go there.
Yep.
But if you're sending bribes, you have to send those bribes in advance.
Once more with
So you might want to
Um,
be conservative on your bribes. Or your gifts, I should say.
Well, then I can only send 2. So I guess that's what I'm doing because, unless Lenny, for some reason, decided to help out with this cause. But Jake's not here.
Hold on, Tessel. You did get a Winifred's Wisdom. I just noticed it right now because I moved things around so I can read a bunch of shit. You just got a Winifred's Wisdom right now.
I
Oh,
just
sorry,
had to use it
I
on
should
this.
say it was a whole minute ago from Keegan.
All right. Well,
But
fine.
you cannot use something in the middle of your decision making.
Well,
You have
then-
to use it.
no-
So, sorry.
Well, you know, you should
I'm
refund
sorry.
Keegan. All right. You should refund Keegan. All right. His
No,
purpose has been lost.
No, because I've defined that many times. So
Yeah, I don't think he was aware. All right, he says it's fine. All right. Well, fuck it. Who cares? All right. Whatever. I'm rolling the D4. I'm rolling it. Not chat. Fuck chat. That's what I get for saying fuck chat. All right. Well, I have no BP. Nah, I don't care. I'm suffering in my own world. It's fine. Why do I have only -1 consumption?
So how are you spending?
Oh shit!
For...
Wait. Oh yeah, the academy brings fame. Sorry, I was so confused. Academy gives me 1 fame.
But that's all applied.
Yeah, so I was trying to figure out why my consumption was -1 to -2. It's because the
Okay.
academy's consumption cost.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
So to be clear, And that's also factored into your actual diplomacy check and so on and so forth as well. So how are you spending 4 BP when you have only 3?
Keegan's spending 3.
So Keegan's spending 3, so you're only spending 1, so you have 2 BP left. And how much did you choose you were going to spend to modify? I think you said 0, right? Oh, you're spending 2. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Is this an embassy edict? Is this what this is doing?
You think somebody who's unfriendly towards you is going to want an embassy with you?
Diplomacy. I mean, maybe actually, where this helps ease
Keep your friends close.
Well, if they're next to it, right, we can ease tensions easier, right?
Keep your friends close. Just remember.
This is the last time I do a good faith.
No. Just listen for a second. If you do an embassy edict, that means the throne is allowed to put an embassy inside your land. Remember that.
I'm aware.
Okay.
I'm gonna just do diplomacy, right?
Hold on. This is level 4 emo, even though we got level 5 is completed. That was weird. Okay.
All right. This is the last time I have Jake. I do the good faith attempt on trying to be friendly with him. Okay.
I don't think there's anything I could have done to assist you, right?
I mean, this is what I was saying when you popped off for a second. I don't know if you could hear us because you're probably distracted, but would you want your name on that? Like, if he goes there and fucks up, do you want your name on that? It's like you being the what's the word I'm looking for here? Somebody's applying for a job and you're like the reference for the job, but then they show up and they're just like an absolute shit employee and like, you know, do horrible work and you're like, fuck, my name is on. I did that once ever. I put my name on somebody and I regretted it. I was like, ugh.
Well,
I say once ever personally, as a professionally, I've done it a million times, but
look. This is the only time we're gonna ever be able to work with them, Jake. All right. And after I fail this, if I fail this, they're gonna become hostile with me. Because they'll drop
if I lend my assistance, is it gonna is it gonna benefit you mechanically?
Scott?
That's what I want to know.
If you lend your assistance, does it benefit you?
Me.
No, him.
Does it benefit me in the check?
Yes, it absolutely benefits him. I would say because of your positive relationship with him, if you spent 1d4 BP and you succeeded in a diplomacy check, which should be very easy for you, you'll give him a +5. You'll reduce the DC by 5 for him.
Okay.
1d4 BP cost me, so.
I'm doing this for you, Jake. All right. All right. You costed me.
All right, of course, we're going to try because that's the whole thing we were trying to do.
Yes.
Why don't we have somebody in chat roll for you? Why don't we have somebody in chat roll for you, Jake? And hopefully they roll a 1.
Steve.
I'm doing this. I'm doing all of this for you, Jake. Okay.
Come on, Steve, from across the pond.
I really am. I could just kill them, but I'm not.
And Steve rolls up. What's the matter with you? That's not a 1d4.
All right, Jake, I spent 15 DP. So the dice rolled. God, this is terrible.
Jesus. They better come with a back rub. Oh, of course it was a 4. Steve let you down because he fucked up. You know what I mean? You should have chose the Russian. The Russians they're always good finagling it in there.
So relationship mod -5, meaning DC's 5 lower.
All right, Jake, you go ahead and roll a normal diplomacy check against them for your kingdom. Yeah, look at that. What did Anno roll? A 1. Should have chosen the Russian. Diplomacy check for you and them should be pretty easy, Jake.
Yeah. I just got to open the right character sheet.
I'm trying to get
If he does this, does it give me a -5 to DC, or does it shift them from unfriendly to indifferent?
It's a -5 to the DC.
Okay. Well, because
don't worry. If you succeed very well, you can increase your results. So he got a 30. So what was the DC for you, Jake?
You didn't set one.
Oh, okay. My apologies. So it's over here under your kingdom notes. It is
DC's 31.
The size of the kingdom. I think is 14 now.
Wait.
What is your relationship with them? Is it 5?
Helpful.
Their good evil axis. What are they?
You got it one step away from me.
Why? What are you? What are you?
Neutral evil. They're
lawful neutral
or something.
Yeah.
The relationship mod has to be negative to be beneficial. This is a harmful modifier here.
No, it factors in the other way. So if you change the
No,
relationship
it doesn't.
mod, no, listen. If you look at helpful and you bring helpful to friendly, it increases the DC because
No.
what are
The
you talking-
relationship mod. This
Yeah.
box up here.
buddy, it flips. So like if you go to hostile, see how
No,
hostile
that's
goes up?
added. That's attitude. Up
Oh,
to.
my apologies. So where's
Yeah.
the relationship mod come from? Is that a number you type in? It's not a number that you're supposed to click on?
Yeah, but that's because they were hostile with me, or they were unfriendly.
I'm on
Oh,
Clan. Hold on, I'm on
I
Clan
would say.
Densho. I'm on Clan Densho.
Yeah, I know.
Not on yours, right?
I'm aware. I'm saying I think
So-
it comes
so-
from because they were hostile or unfriendly with me.
So hold on. On these sheets, did I make it set up so this is an automated thing, or is this a thing you hand type?
Hand type.
Okay, now that we have that out of the way, give me 1 second. I can tell you what his modifier should be. I think his relationship modifier is 0, to be clear.
Well,
Hold on. So it should be. Is it edicts? No, it's diplomacy edict. Here we go. So relationship mod is they do not have any allied X, Y, or Z. So his relationship mod is a 0.
if you look
so-
at the next set of 3, that's what's important.
So his total DC is only a 21. So with his 30 total with Masumi, who is already there doing shit, so it doesn't even cost anything extra from Jake. Actually, Jake, I'm so sorry. You shouldn't have to pay 4 BP. You were already there.
Thank God.
You were already there. You should pay half of that. So you should pay 2 BP.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because Masumi had already, because part of that's travel, part of that's gifts, so on and so forth. It should be half that because you've already gone there. So I will give that kindness to you. You beat the DC. So for you, Cell, the DC is no longer a 38. It's now a 33.
Yep.
We all in agreement?
Oh God. Okay. Well.
Do you have anything to add to it?
No.
Okay.
Unless Tesla goes. No, I don't. Could Tesla go? Would that be weird?
I mean, I don't know if you'd want to send Tesla there if things are as heated as they are. Oh, wait. You sent
alright.
Aaliyah, didn't you?
I will be. I can't. I mean, I have to. It's the only person I have is a diplomacy person.
Well, Aaliyah, if you remember correctly, Aaliyah caused issues because she was parent, so that actually gives a
Yeah,
penalty.
Tesla should go.
Yeah, actually, if you remember, Aaliyah gave you a +5 to the DC or +10 to the DC before, or some shit like that because.
Well,
she was
I know.
parent.
I think what happened was I just critically failed, and that was the reason.
No, I think you critically failed because I increased the DC because she was parent.
Maybe I don't remember. It's been a while. Yeah. Can Tassel? I guess could go with Aaliyah.
Hold on. Do you have somebody else that you can send? Do you have other?
I have no one.
diplomats? What
Well,
about
no,
your
the
what
only-
about your skull person or your skull person? What was her name?
They're Helena, but I mean, she's gonna horribly fail the check.
She's not anywhere near as good.
She has like a plus like 15 or something.
So you want Tesla himself to go and oversee this this situation? Tesla go with Densho's people. If that's the case, we're gonna have to RP this motherfluffer.
I mean, Aaliyah can go too, right?
Like Aaliyah going is you roll a dice and it's done. You going is a full blown RP'd situation.
I can go with Aaliyah too.
You could bring Pete. Just saying.
Does Pete want to go?
Yeah, his mother's there.
Then I can
Mommy.
do that.
Bosoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll bring Pete and Aaliyah then, I guess.
Okay, Steve, I'll hook you up in 2 seconds. Okay, so who is going?
Pete, Aaliyah, me.
Then we're putting a pause on this. Because it's a full-blown RP'd thing, so you're getting a pause on this.
Okay.
Okay? So right now, you're going to put a pause. You're not even going to roll
That's
anything.
Paused.
I'm going to go over to Jake because we're supposed to finish up his kingdom shit. You just kind of slid in there. Let me fix something for Steve real quick because for some reason things got wonky for poor Steve. Everything else is fine, Steve, aside from that one detail. And that should just be add a 1 here. I think that'll be good. Okay. All right. Don't bring Aaliyah. I agree. Bringing Aaliyah causes an issue. It brings you.
If it's, I can get a +4 from Aaliyah, so I offset most of the penalty, and having Aaliyah there for other things is way more useful.
Okay, that's entirely up to you.
That's just like she has like she can take advantage on a diplomacy check and shit. Like even if they don't like her, she can still roll diplomacy for something, right? Or see information that Tessa won't see.
Mark down that you have Winifred's wisdom, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, a 5% chance is overcome by all the other benefits, Joey, completely.
Yeah, because a +4 minus 1 is a +4 minus 5 is not so bad. All right, cool. So back to Jake then. And Jake has several things that we needed to go over. So Jake, we did none of your events. Jake, were we 100% done with your kingdom turn? We did your edicts. We did everything. You were completely done.
I think we're down to the events.
Okay, cool. So I did have I think 2 extra things for you. I know for a fact 1, and I know exactly what it is, but let me just double check and make sure. No, because that Masumi thing is not for you. What's up? What?
I have to remind you as well, because I succeeded on that check. Throne owes me stuff, names and stuff, like some type of. Remember, they offered me 3 rewards, and I took the, the reputation thing, names and influential people reward.
Oh yes, but the whole idea of the names and influential people thing is so as to come off as BP. I believe is that because what were the 3 things again?
I didn't get any BP from it, but it was I don't know if Steve remembers. I think it was like a weapon, something else, or like introductions.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot what this shit was. I'm so sorry. So this pertains to you delivering shit to Shado for this person. And it was them saying, I'll help you with this. Actually, what they did for you is it wasn't BP that they gave you. What it is because they gave you names and a degree of influence, a bit of pull, specifically towards clans that are further to the east and north that are over by the Dale lands is what you wanted, right?
I didn't know what it was going to be, so if that's what it is, that's what it is.
I'm pretty sure that's what you were saying, that you wanted to pull over. It was conversations about having pull closer to the Dale lands because there's a whole huge chunk of Kajinksi you don't know shit about. So the whole idea is that you would be able to do a diplomacy edict for free over to a clan over by the Dale lands, right? You have a diplomacy edict for free over by the Dale lands, and you would have a benefit to that to your first diplomacy check against them of a +5 because they're giving you a lot of pull. So this is giving you like a huge aid. That +5 comes as a combination of like who you are mixed in with how much pull they're giving you, so on and so forth. And the clan name over there, Eastern Clans. Yep, thank you, Steve, for double checking that. The clan name over there, I have it written down. Where's the capital? Okay. I'll go over here. So, it is the. Let me see if I can get what you call it, translation here. Give me 1 second. It's the Manmosu clan, and I'm gonna put this in Twitch chat. Manmosu clan, which literally translates to mammoth.
Okay, all right, I've written that down.
Okay, and
so it's free diplomacy edict and a +5 to the check with this clan.
So it's a free diplomacy edict and a +5 to the check with this clan. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is for, to be clear, this is for a clan That is over by Eastern Kajinxi, over by the Dale lands themselves. So this is one of the kind of important clans that are currently out of sight for you guys and well past where Celsior currently is.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
And you can send a delegate over there to meet with them or whatever long before you ever can see that. That's fine. You would just have to travel quite the distance to go over there.
Yep.
Cool. I think at some point in time, after I put things down, I shifted the map a little because... Oh, these got shifted. That's hilarious. All right, let me... Because I have a couple of things that are in the wrong hexes. That's funny. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. I was like, what the hell happened there? But I think I just put it in the wrong spots. All right, we good. All right, cool. So the Monmosu clan is what is over there. You have the +5. It is free diplomacy, meaning you don't have to press the you don't have to pay the 1d4 to do it. But of course, you can spend bribes or whatever else you want to from there.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, back to you, sir. You had left over before anything else. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking around for where I put all my shit. Here it is. Do you remember about 2 months ago, IRL? I think like a month and change ago, but 2 months ago for rolls, there was a Knoll tribe that was over by Clan Shadow.
I don't, but I do. Yeah.
So this Knoll tribe is similarly also comes over to Clan Densho and being displaced as Knolls often are. And I'm going to get into Knoll culture and whatnot in a second when you make a roll, and they're going to have an RP thing with you in a roll. They also are going to come to your clan looking to find a place to make themselves home. Let's take an aside right here and talk about something that Norwegian Green had brought up to me. We had like a little side conversation about this actually about 2 months ago, and then I think he actually made a semi-public conversation about this, or maybe a fully public one. I don't remember which Discord channel it was in, and I actually agree with him. I actually listen to a lot of the people that talk to me on the side about different things, and if we just keep allowing events and fortune's favors and whatnot to throw just a whole bunch of like different monstrous races at you and treating them like armies, it kind of devalues the significance of what an army is as you guys are building them up. It also devalues the significance of what these monsters are and what it is that they have to offer. So when you're dealing with these monstrous races, unless you're somehow able to, for lack of a better term, break them, or what's the other word I look for, assimilate them into your culture so they literally become fully a part of your culture, it doesn't make sense treating them like an army. You would treat them like an army for the sake of mass combat when you have like the rules, so on and so forth. But every time they fight in combat, they have a chance of other things happening. Like, let's say, for instance, their morality can kind of slide up or down. There's a chance that the more and more of these peoples that you have inside of your clan, that they can cause issues with your other people. Then you'd have specialized buildings or location that they can find homes in. Let's say, for instance, you're like, okay, I have Knolls. Where do they want to find their home? They don't want to live in any town or near any town. They want to have their own little fucking spot where they can set up their tents or whatever it is that they do. They want to have their own little tribe within your lands or just outside of your lands, but they'll come to call when you call on them with a loyalty check. You know what I mean? Like things like that. When you're dealing with, let's say it's, give me a second to think of an example. Let's say it's trolls. Trolls, they want to live in a fucking cave, or in Nick's case, they have like a small little place just up by a river. So you need to find a hex that has literally caves inside of it where they can make that their home. Once again, you call them to fight for your loyalty check, you know, like so on and so forth to make this happen. So they're meant to be powerful on the battlefield, but they act more like mercenaries than they do like armies for you, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they offer more than usual. Like, let's say, for instance, you sending an army to fight against siege weapons has one effect. You sending giants to fight against siege weapons? Imagine a catapult attacking a giant, and a giant being like, you know, it's like it's a different situation. So, just so like we kind of have an understanding here. All right, cool. Basically, like the Romans used the natives. I mean, the Romans also used the natives like how Inclame is done. So the Romans used to, they had conscripts, but even though they had conscripts and they did favor like the less educated and the more rural people because they took orders well and were more accustomed to the hard lifestyles of being a soldier without complaining as much, or less likely to turn tail and run. The Romans also forced conscription on places where they dominated it as well, which again is a model by which Paradel was created, right? Inclame is not something that was born out of nothing. The Romans forced military life onto the people that they dominated. So it's just, I put a little flavor to it and whatnot. Anyways, so back to game. So these gnolls are to come to you. So what is gnoll culture like? Okay, so to be clear, the way gnoll culture works for you, Jake, you will have, typically speaking, in any tribe of gnolls, which can be a various group. So what I mean, like an actual tribe of gnolls, is anywhere usually between 20 to 200 people. Okay, so that includes hyenas that travel with them as well. But an actual tribe usually has a flind that's with them too. Flind are different than typical gnolls. They're much stronger. So like a typical gnoll has a strength of, say, a 15. A Flind has a 19, right? Typical gnoll has a 13 con. A Flind has a 17. A typical gnoll has intelligence 8, wisdom 11, charisma 8. A gnoll has 12, 15, 12. So Flinds are like the leaders of these creatures. But the other big difference between gnolls is gnolls are chaotic in nature. Flinds are lawful in nature. So when you've come across like a group of gnolls that are just by themselves, they're fucking nuts. Like you imagine like a group of hyenas would be, because you were raised from a young age to watch Lion King, and Lion King taught you all the wrong details of how hyenas actually function, but makes you believe that they're chaotic and crazy. That's how gnolls are without a Flind in charge. When you have a Flind in charge, they literally beat them into submission. Anybody that comes across that steps out of line, they beat them or just eat them into submission to make sure that they follow an order. So the person that comes to speak to you will either be the Flinds themselves or a representative of the Flinds that likely will have been forced into submission for this Flind, right? Another important thing to note, Jake, because these are gnolls, they are not Kara culture, which means you being the Ashen Orc means dick all to them. Cool?
Yeah.
Cool. So chaotic by nature, Flint gives them a charge. This is going to be a tribe of them, but they're not going to be a huge tribe. Their numbers are probably going to be about 100 strong. That does not mean 100 warriors. They have way less than that as combatants. Understood? Cool. Move on.
Yep.
Anno is suggesting 20 d10 to determine size. Do we all like the idea of that? 20 d10 to determine size?
Well, I mean, that could get some funky numbers.
Yeah, absolutely could. Yeah, we can get 69.
You could get 20.
Yeah, you could. If you got all ones, that'd be weird. You could also do 10d20. But, remember when Kingmaker genocided the Knolls of Adir? Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
I mean, they kind of deserved it.
I mean, Jake wasn't a part of that. I don't think. I think it was all Neil.
To be fair, they were like indiscriminately murdering every single person in the mountains.
Listen, Jake's character did some questionable things. That was all Neil. All right, so Jake, back to you, sir.
Yeah.
Do you want to roll 20d10? Does that sound like more fun?
Yeah, that's cool.
Cool. Do you want to roll it?
Yeah, I'll roll that.
All right, cool.
It'll take too long to have chat do it.
No, not chat. I was going to see if you guys want to split it up amongst yourselves or something. Well, you know, if Darth Vader's there, they do. Snog, they do.
Sorry, you mean Anakin Skywalker?
I rolled ages ago and it just says rolling the dice. It's
not, it's a lot of dice, to be fair.
104.
What did you say about instead of rolling the dice?
No, I said it's a lot of dice.
It was weird that it didn't auto roll onto. I think fucking Firefox is
It's
being stupid again.
It's too many dice.
It should still drop the max, which is 10. It's sad that it didn't, but either way. So 104, which is in line with what we said. So we're absolutely going to do this. I do need one thing really quickly, though. So this is going to be if I can get Snaga to go ahead and name the Knoll tribe for me. Okay? Snaga, when you're thinking about names for the Knoll tribe, Knolls are not a part of Kajinxi culture, so you don't want it to be inspired by that like Asian flavor, right? You want it to be a very different style of language. So you can go ahead and name them, and you can give them things like the bushy tails is a terrible idea, but you could do things along that line where it's like adjective, noun, you know, all right, or adverb or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know grammar. All right, Jake, let's get down to the RP.
Yep.
A tribe of Knolls is in the area, and they wish to... And what it was is they just started settling into the area. There was a tiff back and forth between them on the border and your people. But the Knolls themselves, well, they certainly fucking fought your people, and people definitely got injured. They didn't seem to want to push it. They didn't seem like they were actively trying to attack. They were on your lands, but defending themselves when approached, as opposed to attacking you. That is still considered an attack against your land because they're, you know, taking your land, right? But it is adjective. Thank you, Amanda. But how do you want to handle this?
I mean, I'll talk with the leader, I guess, if they're willing to talk. Varric sees the value in it. I mean, they're not the aggressors, really. Yep. I mean, they did just decide to try and claim our land.
Yeah.
But they don't seem to be raiding or any of that stuff.
So your marshal is who again?
Marshal?
Advisors, Patreon.
Is it
Nope. High train marshals. It's not Doc Sewell anymore. It's somebody else took Doc Sewell's place.
Yeah, Marunda.
Where's Marunda? Did I put them in the right spot? Oh shit! I clicked the wrong button. Followers. I did not put Marunda in the right spot, so I just have to change over the details. And Doc Sewell goes under followers now. All right, so I'll fix Marunda in a second. So Marunda's there. Yep. Warlord. We're having a bit of a problem on the borders. You know, that lands that we just claimed to ourselves. The hills.
Yes.
Well, it seems as though there's a pack or tribe or whatever of dogged creatures. Do you know what Knolls are?
Yes, I know Knolls.
These Knolls, they're referring to themselves as the Flayed Hounds. At least that's what rumors are when I speak to the people in the lands. They're nasty, vicious things. They've taken our lands, they've claimed it for their own, and they attack any that approach. Usually I'd suggest just slaughter them all, at least enough to chase them off, tails between their legs, howling as they rush off into the night. Unfortunately, these ones seem different than the ones I've encountered in the mountains. Rumor is they've got a big one with them. They've got a flint with them. The fact that they're not attacking, they're defending. The fact that they've only nestled instead of taken more. The fact that they have a flint with them leads me to believe that they might have some semblance of conscious. I think we might be able to talk to them, approach them. As a matter of fact, it seems as though they've sent small scouts into our lands themselves. Usually I would think this was just strays kicked out of their tribe. Either that or scavengers looking to pick up little scraps here and there, but unfortunately, with the fact that they have not attacked but only intruded, I think these might be diplomats. What do you want to do with them?
Varix raises an eyebrow at diplomats, but he says, "We should talk to them. If they want to talk, we can always destroy them later."
She looks like it's
bring one who speaks our language.
She looks like it's unsavory. Like the idea of this, it doesn't chew well. You know what I mean? But at the same time, she's not going to denounce the wisdom in it because there's no reason to make war if it doesn't have to. There's no reason to throw away lives if you don't have to. And so her response to you is, "Yeah, okay. Honestly, it's not worth killing unless you can eat them. And I don't know if you've ever eaten Knoll, but that taste lingers." Ugh. And so she'll get up and she'll make her way out of there. She returns several days, borderline a week later, with word that they have found one that's willing to come in and speak with you. They're all Chevy. They're all Chevy. You hear that? Just like fucking Transformers. They're all Chevy. It's the Russians. W's and V's sound the same, so they just interchange them. So they come back, and there's one that comes to speak with you. The one that stands before you, could you actually go ahead and roll me this would be a nature check, Jake.
Nature check. Right.
Gnolls do live in the Barren Lands, but very few. They don't survive there very long. Because they're too chaotic. In the Barren Lands, you need to be able to somewhat stand together. And they're too chaotic to be able to pull it off. I'm sorry, with your nature check of a 10, you just see one of these dogged creatures before you. You can't really tell which one it is between a Flint or a Gnoll. You honestly are not entirely sure which this is because you're not very familiar with Flint yourself. That being said, the one that stands before you, excuse me, you would guess that they're probably, if they were to stand straight in their back, probably half past 6 feet tall, right? So, I mean, these things are probably a good 2 meters tall. But the way that its back is crooked, it ends up being closer to, say, like a 5'7", almost like Cell's height. So you're going from you know, like a tall person like my brother Eric down to like a scrawny person like Cell, just because of how it's crooked in the back and how its knees are bent. You can see that one of its ears is completely torn, and you see several patches of fur missing from its neck. The thing is deep scars in the various visible parts of its body along its arms and the like, and you can see a nasty bit of its lip on one of its sides has been like removed as a chunk, always showing one of its canines and a tooth, one of its canine teeth and a tooth just behind it, always visible, looking like it's sneering slightly on one side. Anyways, so this thing comes walking in, and it comes in, and typically speaking, when people come in to regard you, even somebody that's not meant to bow before you like a Gult Ma, even she gives you a respective bow. This thing does not. It stands before you, and I imagine you speak first because it doesn't immediately speak. It just stands there. You also notice as it's standing there wearing its like simple hide armors or whatever, and it has like again like a simple axe at its side. This axe looks like it's made out of like a bronze, a hammered bronze head attached to. It looks like it has a bit of bronze reinforcing a wooden half to it. The pungent smell of this thing. It smells like a rotting carcass. Probably not because it's actually, you know, festering away itself, but the amount of just like flesh and blood that's just matted under its fur, just kind of like permeating. Anyways, so it walks in and it stands there. You can of course speak first.
Yeah, Varix regards it for a minute, looks it over, seeing all these things and the fact that presumably this creature can talk. So after he looks over it, he kind of stands and says, "You are chief of your tribe?"
it shakes its head. It shakes its head like almost like nervously, and then it responds to you actually, because I imagine, of course, you're speaking Kajinksi. It responds to you in Kajinksi. Excuse me, I have the on. My apologies. So it responds to you in Kajinksi, sorry, in Karak, and says, no, and I would never claim to be such. Do not say such words.
Why?
It looks like, when you ask that, it looks a borderline between anger. So actually, haha, sense motive. Boom. It looks borderline between angry and scared. You know what I mean? Angry that you would make such an assessment, but scared for the repercussions of that. You get the impression, because if its Master Chief, whatever, had heard that it was mistaken that way or represented that way, it might not even live.
Okay. You bring word from your chief then?
And its verbal response is "cuz," like almost like biting back.
Yeah.
You say you bring word from your chief then. It nods. It's kind of like, it's like elongated snout like face. It's hyena head nodding and says, yes.
I love these one word answers. Okay. You have settled in our land.
It thinks for a second. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It thinks for a moment, kind of like looks about to any others that might be in the room, and then almost questioningly says, no.
My land. You settled in my land.
It thinks for a moment and says, the hills, they are home. Have been. Many, many years since pups were pups. Sorry, since parents of pups were pups. That's our home. You claim now yours.
Yes.
This is wrong. This home ours. But not chief, he says, but leader, not want fight.
Your chief doesn't want to fight. That's why you've only defended yourself so far, I assume.
It nods. Leader, and you can tell that the word that it's using for leader is just because it knows the translation as opposed to what it would say in its own language. It says, leader wants to know if true. Big ones called you leader. Big ones fought for you. Big ones died for you.
Yes.
Why?
Because I'm strong. And I demanded their allegiance.
He thinks. He says, demand why?
To be stronger.
Leader doesn't want to eat your people. Soft. No flavor.
We don't want to eat you either. Tough. Too much hair.
Sorry, it just makes me think of an episode of Boba. Furry. Oh, sorry. Anyways, leader says, thinks for a few moments. Trade. No. Mate. No. Deal. Deal. Deal? Looks around questioning, like, is that the right word?
Yes. Yes, deal. Rex is a bit put off with the mate option there, but we'll go with we're definitely gonna deal with deal.
We keep our home. But you keep our home. You make no problems south. And we make no problems north. You come help us when we need help. We come help you when you need help.
Rex will look around at his advisors and just kind of look at.
I
each
imagine
one of them.
Shado and Kushibashi advisors are there, so Nick and Sel are welcome to chime in. Go ahead, as you were saying, Jake.
He's just gonna look for any reaction in the advisors present.
Sure. Let me look at your advisors before I say anything. Good night, Amanda. Okay. I'll have you open. So kind of looking about, Urzog just looks grossed out. Like, he does not like these people in the least bit. He thinks they're just nasty. Lyra, however, looks at you and just kind of gives you like one of those knowing looks and just like a slight nod. Like, it's not such a bad idea. Your Egrid, who is your counselor or whatever it's called, also looks put off and does look at you and says, well, having to kill gnolls is difficult, and there's little benefit aside from training the soldiers to kill gnolls, since tactics against them don't really work against anybody else, and tactics against anybody else don't really work on them. Just kind of like shrugs. Oh my god, I am 2,997 followers right now on Twitch. I think this is the closest I've ever been to 3,000. I've never broken 3,000 because Twitch auto deletes people whenever I get above 2,995. It just starts deleting, or about 2,995, it starts deleting followers, which is annoying. Thanks, Anno. Anyways.
What does Cthulhu know of gnolls?
Roll your knowledge.
Local? He's from the Barren Lands.
Yep, local would work. They're not really from the Barren Lands, but local would work.
Okay.
Mortifer looks at them and says, Mortifer's granddaughter says they okay. She looks up and says, no, I didn't. Mortifer approves. Scrappy little beasties they are. Mortifer says having puppies is fun. Mortifer likes puppies. Scratch behind ears, Mortifer says. She shakes her head disapprovingly of her grandfather and the fact that he doesn't exactly know what's going on in this room right now. Cthulhu, what we've already discussed.
My advice, Warlord Dencho, would be making a deal with the gnolls. Just like Shadow has a deal with the salamanders.
He nods at you. I don't know if Ina speaks up.
Ina would just look at that and say, comparing gnolls to ancient salamanders with untold mystical powers and wisdom is an interesting choice. Where are these gnolls camping again?
The hills, if you're looking at the map, there's, Nick, I'll ping it for you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the one I just took.
They weren't there before when you guys were on that because it's part of their home that they kind of like migrate through, which is why they weren't there at the time.
So it's far enough away from Kuchibashi lands, so we don't really have to worry about that. But I will say you do have a hard enough time controlling your own people. Never mind a pack of wild dogs. By all means, it's another resource, and maybe they'll sniff out the next time the red mongrel comes trancing around. Uh, eh.
When you mentioned the red mongrel, you can see he thinks for a few moments. The knoll that's in front of you, at least you think it's a he. I'm honestly not sure. In front of you, and then says, "Mongrel. Yes, I know this. Named Mongrel because of insults to our peoples. Mongrel is an insult to our peoples. But mongrel was used to name this person, this Karuk person, because they travel the plains same as our peoples do. We do not like this person. They give our peoples bad name."
Eno will laugh. We don't like this person either. So, plenty of red mongrels to kill.
Once again, is not happy that they have to share a racial slur with someone that they don't like. It's weird, but you know.
Yeah. I think a deal we will make. However, would some of your people be willing to allow us to train you in our ways of war, making you a bit better of fighters, or at least organization?
Your general himself just kind of like looks at you like, "Bro, what?" But if I remember correctly, your son that just came home, let me just double check him real quick, because I have to look at his religion. Yeah. I don't know if Vex would be in the room. Who's Vex's mom?
Is Marunda.
Marunda, who's here. So you say that, and your general just shakes his head, like looking absolutely fucking disgusted. And so Marunda, looking at him, just like she just wants to break him because he's just an idiot in her eyes. She says, "Warlord, the Knoll people, they tend to worship Drozam. My son could teach them a lesson or two in combats, channeling on the ways of Drozam. It's not something that I'm happy to have my son assigned to doing, but he's more capable than other people in this table."
Is my thoughts exactly. We do have him overseeing construction of just a building right now.
She nods. She nods, saying, "Be that as it may, I don't think that we should allow wet dogs into a newly constructed building." You can see that the Knoll is not happy about the insults to his kind. He looks at her and says a couple of cusses in, or at least some words in Knollish. And she looks back at him and gives a growl and bark back at him, suggesting that she also speaks Knoll, or at least a couple of words of it. Probably not fully, but enough to be insulting.
He knows the curse words,
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you have champions among your tribe, those with better skill than others, been through many battles.
Was that a question?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, do you have
like people that are good at combat, more or less?
Yeah.
You can mute. Go ahead.
Like
So
individually.
Yeah.
Like, Good.
They nod themselves and say, "Yes, I have killed many, and there are others as well."
We are also expanding our city here, and there are plans for an arena of sorts to be built. I wouldn't mind seeing what some of your Null champions do. You can win fame and whatever for your tribe.
They think for a few moments, like several moments, and because they look a little baffled, and then finally they say, "What is arena?" Is this the snake tamer that we've heard songs about?
Do I know of any fucking snake tamer?
No, honestly, no.
No, it is a place where challenges are made, fights to the death, glory to be won.
They know.
I'm interested to see how you put up against one of us.
They thinks and says, "I think I could kill almost anyone in this room right now. But then if you give me weapons like I see," looking around like how there's weapons kind of about the room, "I could probably kill anyone in this room."
Varix will unsheath his falchion, and he puts it right up to the throat of the thing.
Oh, you're on the far side of a table. Do you remember? We haven't looked at this in ages. Let's
if we're on a table, I'll walk around.
This is your thing. So let's actually come over here because we haven't been here in ages.
Mm-hmm.
So Varix is usually he's this one, right? Yeah, he's down here. So even though this is kind of outdated with what's here, you usually have your tables kind of like way over here. So you make your way around or whatever, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. He puts the sword up to the creature.
Okay.
And
the
he
creature,
says,
the creature does. Hold on, let me make a check before I do anything else. Before I say anything else, because if you're walking up to them, they don't do anything. But if you draw your weapon and put it to them, I have to make a check for that. That's going to be a boom. Yeah, it's shitty. What's there? Two. Okay, so I gotta roll a. Okay, so they hold steady. They don't like freak out or anything like that.
Yeah, and he says, even with a weapon such as this, you would never be able to kill me or those here. I'm stronger than you. We outnumber you. That is why you're here to make a deal. At this stage, he'll cast Enlarge Person on himself, becoming large size.
That would definitely.
He looks down.
They're requiring me to make another check. Hold on.
Yeah.
They stumble backwards because unfortunately the way that fear works is when you're a size category larger, intimidation is automatically a +4. So
Yep.
Yep. Go ahead.
And then, like, his blade is enlarged too, obviously, in his hand. And he, like, sticks it into the ground in front of him, and he says, maybe if you fight in the arena, you might win yourself something like this. Tell your tribe. We will make a deal.
He nods.
Remember what you saw.
You can see the white in his eyes, and he nods.
Yeah. And he just says, remember what you saw here.
Okay. And so it goes to a scenario where they stay there. They are an asset to you to call upon if you need to. but otherwise they don't really cost you anything usually. But there can be times where it can cost you. Like, for instance, if they're having issues in the future, there might be events and whatnot where they have their own unique plague that's affecting them, or they have a rival tribe that comes to attack, and you need send like either your diplomat to talk off the tribe, or your warden, or your marshal, or something like that to handle it. So this kind of like it gives you access to a whole group that's willing to aid you, but has that penalty on the flip side of what could happen because it's a new point. Either way, what I would say is that hill right there, the likelihood of anything happening on this hill is very, very, very fucking slim now. I'm gonna throw a little null token on it because this is meant to be a beneficial thing. This is not meant to be a pain in the ass. This is meant to be, just to be clear, this came from a Fortune's favor. This is meant to be something that you can use. This is meant to be a good thing, not a pain in the ass. So, just so we're clear. All these pictures suck of gnolls. Does it become a monstrous lair resource? That's a really fucking good question, sir. Let me check that out. Let me check out resources. I got a pee. Does anybody else have a pee? So do you have to go pee with me?
I got up for it. I already got up and did that.
Lair. A lair is a cave or defensible shelter that can be used as a fallback position, a strategy location, even a guard post. When you claim a hex of the lair, stability increases by 1. You can construct a fort or watchtower over a lair. Its defense increases by 1. The option of the lair may allow access to underground cavern hex. But so that is a lair hex, meaning that stability increases by 1 when you claim that lair. Yeah, I am fine with that becoming a lair. I'm gonna need some sort of a chat so you can see. Hold on, let me just click something else real quick. I'm gonna need some sort of a lair. What do we use this for? Oh, I do have one. Oh, fuck yeah. So we have a lair one. Cool. So let me go over to this. Because I think we already had one on there for sale before or something. Or maybe we didn't. But here, let me actually bring this back over for chat to see.
We're talking about we worked on the icons.
Yeah, Sal and I had done this ages ago. So there's actually this cute little, it looks like almost like a little lair there, or like a little cave there. That's a lair icon. So that means, Jake, your stability goes up by 1. So your base or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
Hey, wasn't that what Joey's saying? All right.
What was that?
No. I wouldn't get a layer, right? Because that's in the cavern hex below.
Under resources, your stability go up by 1. No, yours is different, Cell. Than
because they would be in the cavern hex technically.
Yours give you other benefits. So
I got a +1 to econ from gems and shit.
Yes, that's what you got. Yes. Cool. So yeah, but you have, sir, Jake, you get a +1 stability for that. And that hex also has a +1 defense. If you want to note that in some way.
Yep.
Cool. Moving on. So that fleshes out that RP, because that was an important RP. But you now have that accessible. And then I just want to be clear, because I think your clan now has 3 groups that have bent a knee that act as external resources. I think you have goblins. Yeah. I think you have gnolls. And I think you
ogres.
also have ogres. And so each one of these are resources you can use. But again, every so often, you might have to make a loyalty check or a stability check because they cause issues in your kingdom. And more importantly, the gnolls specifically want that hex. You can't really build anything on that hex. You can't have farmlands there. You can't have anything else there, because if you did, it would cause other issues with the gnolls. It would cause problems. Where are you putting the giants? Where are you putting the goblins? I believe the goblins kind of took a hex for themselves, didn't they? But they're
the goblins just move around, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right. They move around and they do like weird cooking or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So because goblins move around, they can occasionally cause a little bit of havoc, but that's again, it's a rare thing that happens. And where are you putting the ogres?
They are going over in the original plan. Was the other what is it, Nochi?
That's right. And where in Nochi are they going? Like, how are you constructing a location?
I have to build them a barracks.
That's right. So it's a barracks that counts.
I have granaries in both cities, so they can or both towns, they can support armies. So I just need to build a barracks over there.
Gotcha. So right now they have no comfortable place to be. Cell, can you do me a favor real quick if you don't mind? In the actual Pathfinder video game, if I remember correctly, there was specifically something for having goblins in your cities. There was like a goblin like
there's a foreign
quarters.
It was like foreign quarters, I think, is what it would be translated to.
There's
a kobold shelters and goblin shelters.
Yeah.
And
can you check and see what that is? Because that might be a fun thing to look into for Jake, because he's this funny amalgamation of all these different races, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then your best interpretation of how to translate that without it being just a foreign quarters, right? All right, let's move on from here. Jake, that I think finishes up the only thing that was mandated to you, and I think I just cleared it from my list. I did. Because again, that's supposed to be Cell's thing. Masumi is over. Pete is inside Cells, yeah. All right, so that's it for you, sir. All right, now let's you didn't do any of your other events, right? I don't think I had any events saved up for you. I think everything through January is completely done for you, which means you just have a random event. And then I think we can finish up with Sal, and maybe we can start Nick. Hopefully Nick is kind of like somewhat prepped for his start if we can get to it.
I have the building up.
Do you want to send me the link real quick, even in Zoom?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to translate well because obviously their stats are a lot different.
I'm aware of that, Snaga, but I'm not doing those right now because they're supposed to have an easy start. And I'm trying to give them one more final. So I'm going to do that at the end of so either next session or the one after that, because it's a new month, but it's to the beginning of the month. So I'm trying to give them time. So the way that it works in the Pathfinder Kingmaker video game is -1, because they have more stats, because it's more fun that way, because it's not handled by dice rolls. It's handled by an AI or automatic dice rolls. So it's -1 loyalty, +2 relations, +3 espionage. But what is relations? I think equals. I think relations equals.
It's diplomacy. It's the Grand Diplomat.
No. I know. I think relations equals stability, right? Is that
They don't translate like that though.
They do though, because instead of 3 stats, there's 6, and so the way that the stats work is So they just each one's divided by 2. So that's stability, and espionage is supposed to be I think espionage is supposed to be a stability stat as well, funny enough. And it affects Barbarian Arena. What does that mean, it affects Barbarian Arena?
It gives a bonus to Barbarian Arena, like adjacency bonuses.
Oh,
I don't think it matters in this case.
That's right. I understand. It costs 125 BP. Woo.
There's 10 stats.
There's 10 stats. Okay, gotcha. I really gotta pee. So anyways, I like the idea that this works, Jake, kind of like how a tannery has penalties inside of your city, that it causes penalties and bonuses inside of your city, like it increases the amount of, say, crime or danger in the area, something like that, but it decreases other things inside the area as well. And it's also like mandatory for having them comfortably there. But it would only take up 1 hex instead of it being like a barracks, which takes up 2 hexes, you know?
Barracks is 1, garrisons 2.
We have until your next kingdom roll to handle this. Gotcha. Yep. So why don't we have this solid before your next kingdom roll, which is a session or 2 away. All right, let's do your random event, and then I'm going to pee, and then we're going to go over to sell. Yep. Relations should be economy, but I believe it equates to stability, I believe. Because it affects it.
I'm tagging it out right now. I'll tell you what I come up with.
Yeah. I did it forever ago, mind you. I actually did this forever ago because I contemplated when we were starting doing these campaigns. For the other one, the Kingmaker one, I contemplated doing all 10 stats. Then I decided not to. I decided to go with this format. Either way, they usually take 2 hexes. That makes sense. I don't know. But anyways, back to you, sir. You have, I don't have you pulled up over here. I have Cell pulled up over here, unfortunately. Give me a second.
25%.
25%? Oh, that's it. Okay, I won't even click. Let's just go back to this. So with your 25%, sir, why don't you ask somebody in chat to roll, but before you do so, can you tell them what the dangerous numbers are?
Yeah, 1 to 25, and we'll have Anna roll.
We can handle that as well. 1 to 25 is danger and auto's rolling, and we can handle that as well. Snaga. Snaga just doesn't want me to pee. So it jumps up to 75%, sir. So make that modification on your sheet.
Yep.
There was also a special request from Kushabashi's curator to Irithel to use connections to get his hands on the Book of Rules of War. So Irithel, as a advisor task, to get his hands on the Rules of War, if he can do so for the sake of him. Nick, could you actually you can RP this as your advisor to Densho requesting the book. You can RP that to Jake. And I'm going to look up how I'm going to handle this in the meanwhile.
Sure thing. Lord Varix.
Yes. You know.
One of Warlord Naren's new advisors is some old pencil pusher from up north who handles or is experienced in a lot of the legalese in Kajinxi law. He was wondering if Arethel might be able to use some of his under-the-table connections to procure the latest copy of the Rules of War. He feels that we'll need it soon.
That seems like a reasonable request. I'm sure Irithel, if he's able to, will be able to take care of that.
Okay, excellent. I think we would all benefit from having it on hand.
I think so. Although the North doesn't seem to really punish people that break it anyway. So.
Well, I think it's going to be more to cover our own.
Yeah. I see the wisdom in this.
Excellent.
So, funny enough, this is a Irithel normally has a plus 11 because he's insanely powerful. He's actually your best of your advisors. This specifically pertains to the courts, so it is a focus of his. So he has a plus 2 on this. I would say that something like this is pertaining to literally the stability of the land. So you get an additional plus 2 because of your kingdom stats. So you have a plus 15, and the I would say the ability to do this is actually an average check to get your hands on these books. So you have a plus 15 against a DC 12. Would you like to roll that, Jake? Oh, Jake, did you want to spend any BP to enhance your check here?
No.
Okay.
That's a plus 15.
Plus 15 against a DC 12.
Oh, don't roll a 1. Okay, good.
Hey, actually,
so
hold on. DC 12, you beat it by 5. Do you want to try to luck it to see if you can beat it by 7? It's funny how he almost failed something that was unfailable.
I mean, really, what's a... I mean, I'll go for the critical because I just want to go for it. You know what I mean? But what's it really going to get?
Cool.
Yeah,
you got it. And as Steve is pointing out, it only needed a 1. So, yep, you automatically get the crit. So, by succeeding, you're able to get your hands on the books, which just benefited Nick, or therefore you guys by proxy, because of what he's going to do with it. However, it's one of those things where because he was able to critically succeed, he was able to get his hands on some books while he was up there. But don't forget, he's kind of underestimated. So people that sent the books down and whatnot to him, it was one of those details where when he went up there and he asked for the books and so on and so forth pertaining to Kajinxi, he was able to hear a couple of rumors about like why the hell would you guys need it. He was actually able to hear a couple of rumors specifically pertaining to shit that happened around you guys and the laws and whatnot, that like how was that you guys were more or less manipulated to being little bitches to the middling clan that tried to screw you over. He's able to pick up little tidbits. So not only was Nick able to get his hands on the books that he required, which was a fucking library of books that he required, he was also able to get his hands on a little bit of important information to look into things in the future. So Jake, with your critical success, if you choose to do an espionage edict in the future, pertaining to learning details about what it is that Kagong did to you guys, you will actually
not Kugong, the other
sorry,
Xingquin.
Xingquin, thank you. That Xingquin did to you guys. You'll actually be able to do that espionage edict on behalf of the 3 clans down here. You'll be able to do so at a -2 BP, or sorry, a -3 BP. So that means if you roll a d4 and it's only a 1, but you're doing more than just one task, you know what I mean? That can stretch a little further.
Okay, yeah. Cool.
Nick, you now have the books which are going to give you a benefits for everything that you're looking to in the future. Awesome. That settles that out. That was, I don't know about you guys, but to me, that was a lot of fun. There's a lot of like interactions and important things that happened there. We settled out a lot of details, including something that's been kind of nagging in the back of the mind since when Nori and I discussed it beforehand, because I agree with the idea that they shouldn't be treated like basic armies. But I'm going to go pee real quick. Do you guys want me to do an away screen so everybody takes a quick break, or you guys just want to chat amongst yourselves before I go back to cell?
Do an away screen.
Do an away screen? Sure. Yeah. Then we'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes, okay?
Sounds good.
Yeah. I usually turn off recording here and do this 2 separate VODs. I'm not going to because it's going to be such a quickie anyways. I don't want to turn like the last one being like a fucking 40-minute VOD. So, be right back.
As if they're getting uploaded.
boom, 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 boom. Hey, ya.
Okay.
Hey, ya.
So I asked Aaliyah. I need a piece of advice here.
Okay.
About the throne situation.
This is
And
like
what
you're asking for the best way to go about this.
I'm using the piece of advice trait. With the suggestions of bringing Naito and Dea, as they have a family.
Bring it to RP, baby. Bring it to RP.
All right, Aaliyah, as you know, we're preparing for our trip to ease tensions of Throne. We should give it one last go, at least. I need your honest opinion here.
She says, "Oh, back to Throne again. Okay."
What do you think? Honestly, should you come with us? Should I bring Naito or Dea, as they have now a familial tie to ease tensions? They are not fans of Perrin.
Well, the problem is with bringing Naito and his new wife is that she's going to be seen as a bit of a traitor, having left them for you. Left their clan for our clan, when we're not even friendly with them. She's somebody that was a member of their intelligence. Either they see it as an insult, like you're gloating, and they're gonna see it as an insult because you're gloating, or they might even wish to capture her to find out what secret she's given us, how much she betrayed them. I think you're inviting more problems. As for bringing your brother, the war chief, they know who it is that she married. Once again, bringing him might be an insult to them. It'd be brilliant for the sake of him understanding their degree of defenses. I wasn't focused on that last time I was there, even though I was thoroughly impressed. And he could see it with his own eyes, and he is a brilliant tactician. But it could also be seen as a bit of an insult. More importantly, if you and him both leave Clan Shadow, that does exactly that. You know, it kind of pulls into question what's the line of succession should something happen.
These are very true and fair points that I had
She
not
does
considered.
lean up and say, and something could happen. Especially since Joey just asked for his bits.
You know, something could happen. But I have this weird sense of safety wherever I go nowadays. It's strange. It's happened recently.
What's that noise?
I may have hit my desk.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I have this weird sense of safety wherever I go recently. It's been odd, but that's besides the point. I feel like almost going at all seems like it's going to be insulting to them, but so we do not bring my brother Adea. And what about yourself? What do you think is best?
Truthfully, they were insulted by my presence last time. I understand why it is that you want me there. I just don't know how wise it is. I feel like I'm doing more harm than good by arriving. I think you going there would be a good thing because it shows respect. But at the same time, I think, I don't know, maybe tensions are a little bit too tight. Maybe we should hold off and wait until I don't even know why I'm trying to convince you of otherwise. You've already made your decision. I should know just to answer the question you asked. I don't know.
We must strike while the anvil's hot.
She gives you like a unimpressed, kind of like look back, to your pun, and she says, "You and myself, an amount of guard that we feel safe, but isn't so much that it's insulting. That is it. No more. They'll just misstep and say the wrong words. No less, because likely our lives will be in danger."
And you think it is wise to bring you?
I think that I will provide more harm than good, but at the same time, I also know that you like the moral support.
I do enjoy the moral support.
She nods. She says, "No, I know. I know I'm not coming for. I know I'm not coming for my cooking skills."
Something tells me I don't want to try your cooking skills.
She shakes her head and says, "You don't."
Then it seems it's decided. We shall go to Thuron, and I will see the city, their people, their lands, and maybe, hopefully, we can come to a peaceful resolution to our conflicts.
She nods and says, "If I may, Warlord, you like to conclude conversations with grandiose statements. Even if the statements themselves aren't that grandiose, it's just your personality. It's your flair, if you will. You're going to want to tone that down considerably when you're speaking to Theron. They don't like it. They are very heavily minded towards the unification of Kajinxi. They want Kajinxi to stand as one nation and not many clans. This is adverse to the ideas of Shado. Shado wants Shado to be a clan of prominence. Sure, degrees of unification, but Shado wants Shado to be of prominence, whereas Theron wants unification under the northern clans. These are two very different ideals, and your grandiose statements, your approach of just you and how it is that you're taking the clan is completely adverse to what it is that they want to, the future that they see. You need to be less you.
I see.
You want to play up the similarities and really try to shove down the differences. And I mean this obviously with all due respect.
Well, if they want unification with the North, I think our ideas are closer than you are thinking. I want a unification, but our strength is in our differences as well. The North lacks a lot. I'm sure Theron knows that.
She gives you like a plain blank look. Let me put it this way. You pride yourself in having advisors that will always speak up and speak against you. Even in an inopportune time, you like having our candid nature and our loud personalities. Can you think of other warlords that perhaps do not like those kind of people around them? That maybe want sycophantic followers?
All of them?
Now imagine if there are warlords themselves that are sycophantic to others.
I see. I understand. Well, I will try to tone myself down for this conversation as best as I can.
So you'll fail, but
hopefully
we could get some things across.
We can hope.
Don't forget to bring your perfume.
I do have the perfume. Actually, holy shit, I have everything for this. I have the cool outfit that goes with it. Would that be too flamboyant, Ilya?
Your outfit was supposed to play up in the north, right?
Yeah.
So no. She goes, If the more northern you portray yourself as, the better. But hold on. If you go too far, and this is where I don't know the teetering edge, honestly. It's like, imagine if someone is of a culture, so they dress of that culture, and then there is that person that is clearly not of that culture and tries too hard to be of it. You know what I mean?
Luckily for me, I have actually studied their culture rather well.
But
so I won't look like a poser.
Aren't of it. The fact that you studied it is
I understand.
too much of a
I understand that.
try-hard.
I missed your statements. In my favor in this, I never really fit in the North anyway. Hey, am I wrong?
Can I give one final piece of advice?
Of course.
Part of your outgoing and theatrical nature, you always like to showcase the most grand things that you have to offer. One of those things very well may be the unique qualities of a few of the items that you happen to have adorned on you at most, if not all times. Certainly, Warlord Narin has unsheathed his weapon to showcase the jaw-dropping abilities that it has. I want to remind you that the Warlord of Throne, his nickname is the Mage Hunter for a reason.
Ah, that is something I did not know.
Showcasing your magical ability or things that you have on yourself may just annoy him more than anything else. Now, granted, Narin's weapon, I know that he encountered that weapon and he appreciated it because it's in the hands of a warrior that knows how to handle a very well-crafted weapon. But your cloak and crown and things like that, those carry a different connotation to them.
He takes the iron sun that's rotating about him and plucks it down.
She nods appreciatively. Thanks.
That goes in the bag.
Is this one of those like?
It's like it's just rotating around my forehead, like around the top of my head. I'm like, I don't even notice there most of the time. It kind of like you're so used to something, it just like vanishes from your sight. So yeah, I pluck that down.
Yep. She goes,
anything else I should be aware of?
She goes, I think we are starting to have a bit of an understanding, but since I'm coming with you, we can discuss it more as we go.
That might be best. Let us.
She nods as she's going to have to start. It's like she's trying to teach somebody who either grew up in prep school how to fit in the hood, or someone who grew up in the hood how to fit in preparatory school. And it's like, oh boy. It's like, do you remember that episode of Fresh Prince? You know, the beginning of it. You watch Fresh Prince? Oh, it's a great show.
No.
There's some really good, like, very, very important feel-good moments in there. Granted, you're somebody that grew up with both your parents, but if you're somebody that didn't grow up with both your parents or either of your parents, there's some like awesome, like feel-good things in there that really spoke out to people that didn't get to have a home with two solid. Either way, it's a really, really, really well-written show. It really is. Obviously, it has low points like any show does, but it's a really well-written show. Anyways, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting a lecture on how to be less swashbuckler.
Yeah.
Swashbucklerly. Yeah. Which is not great. Okay. Sorry.
It's funny.
Yeah. So I'm going with Aaliyah, and we're taking Zealous, my halfling bodyguard that wielded Maul. He's a great funny character. Uh, yeah.
Funny enough, she would actually lean over at one point in time and say, "I think they'll like him."
I like him a lot. He's recently come from the north following Mazada,
Mm-hmm.
and he is fantastic. He makes toys for
She,
the kids in the orphanage.
she's raised an eyebrow and says, "Really?"
He doesn't really talk about it, but I've seen him making them outside the orphanage. It's very heartwarming.
She looks like for a moment like she had an idea, but then she lets it pass and says, "This is your first time to Throne, isn't it?"
It will be my first time to Throne.
Well, then you're going to have to prepare yourself. As
What
you
is it like?
she smiles and says, "You'll see."
Yeah.
When you guys make your travel to Throne, it is along old pathways because Throne's been around for a while now. You know, you notice that occasionally in sight on various peaks, you notice watchtowers happen to be erected. You notice that there are various different areas in the lands that you cross through where there's definitely like they have, positioned themselves defensively. They've designed themselves to do well. They design themselves very well. But most importantly, the actual clan's capital happens to be in an area that's kind of a valley. The reason why it's an area that's kind of a valley is because the whole area around it belongs to Throne. It's all extremely very well guarded, so on and so forth, right? Extremely very well guarded. There's only one clean, easy path in and out if you're not going through the mountains. And you obviously aren't going through the mountains. To put this on the map over here so chat can see, and so you can see the path that you would want to take to get to them, you'd be going from your new city here. You'd want to come down over to here and then in. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
But with that being said, actually marking these for you, because now you personally are going in there, you can see. There would be...
Ooh. I can't see past.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to make it more visible for you because you're going to be in there.
Cool.
Oh. Sorry. Wrong one. It's this one here. So double clicking on Throne and trying to make it so its dynamic lighting is a little bit better. So brilliance distance, let's try to make it 4 miles.
Okay.
Not
I can kind of see it now.
Not quite good enough. Give me 1 second. Let's try it like this. Just trying to see if I can get this to without showing away too much.
They have a lot of land on the parent side.
Yeah, you fucked them hard. Almost there, sorry. This should probably do the trick. So you can see probably from that image there that all 5 of the hexes around their capital there have at the very least watchtowers, if not forts themselves. They are it is very, very, very well defended leading up to that area. Even still, you have over these areas here, it's not like these are without their own settlements that happen to exist. They have small towns there as well that look into it, but not so grand. These are small towns that would be like not even a district hex, you know, just like like Thorpe's or whatever, but again, not ones that you would actually mark on a map. Where you can see that even in there are of course scouts and whatnot that always exist to see if anybody might be coming through. But most importantly, hamlets. Thank you, Thorpe's, hamlets, whatever it might be. Most of the but when you actually approach the city itself, the city itself, you can see that part of the city is in the actual valley. It is on the ground floor beneath, because that's how trade would come in and out. It's the easiest way for people to be able to make, trade, is to walk up to the gates that aren't inside the mountains. But then the other half of the city is actually built into the mountain ridge. So if you're looking at where that star is on the map, you can imagine that the actual city's location is on the far right-hand side of that hex, on the far left-hand side of the hex adjacent to it. And when I say city, I want to be clear. It is a city. There are 4 districts, and each one of the districts are fairly full. This is not a metropolis. It doesn't have, several full districts or any shit like that. But it is definitely a city. So it has like, all 4 districts, and there are many buildings in each of those 4 districts. So 2 of those districts are up inside the mountains themselves. One of the other things that you notice as you're coming through the area is that part of their labor force, maybe because they have trade with them, or maybe they're, whatever the case may be, but part of their labor force are actual giants. Like, you literally see giants are moving shit around through the labor force area. So as you're walking by, you see that. Another thing that catches you off guard as you're going through there is this strange winged creature. I need you to go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Not great at those, historically speaking.
Okay.
See, that fails.
Uh-huh. You're able to see a strange flying creature, but aren't able to make out enough details to make any checks beyond that. You're just able to see there's a strange flying creature overhead that kind of strikes you as being different. So as you're walking up and you see this, and you see like these massive castle walls, these massive city walls that are around the entire city. You see how well heavily fortified it is and whatnot. This place gives you the impression of having been here for multiple generations. Again, we're talking about Karuk generations, so not quite as long, but looking at this place, looking at its structure, you don't think that this was originally built by Kajinxi. It looks like this was probably originally a Paradel fortress or some other kingdom before that was overtaken when the horde erupted through, and Throne based itself out of it. This thing looks like it's well over 100 years old. So they were able to use the bones to build itself. Anyways, so it is, and then when you go walking into the place, you can see that there is a decent amount of military presence that happens to be here. Again, almost giving you the impression, if you had ever experienced it, which you didn't, certainly gives the impression to her of going into a Paradel military, into a Paradel city that's currently being occupied by the military for a campaign. There's a lot of people that happen to be here, but not through all the fucking streets or anything like that, just along the walls, just giving it a heavy amount of protection. You can also see as you're traveling through the city and the different times that you get to kind of like walk around, or when you get like a vantage point so you can see, there are many different roads that lead out of the city. There's the one huge road that leads into it here for the sake of trade, but then you also have many roads that are much smaller that lead out other city wall kind of like entrances to go on other paths up into the mountains. This is probably where they get all their ore imported from, and so on and so forth, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. All right, cool. So you're traveling through this place, and you're going to go have your conversation. When you meet with them, unlike your sad little place where you have your meetings inside of I don't even know where you have your meetings. Where
temple.
Instead of a temple. They have a proper assembly. They have a proper city hall. A city hall is where their people will go and speak their concerns to the leaders of Throne. But the assembly is where the leaders themselves will go and assemble to have conversations. The two of them are located near to each other, but not directly on top of each other. Just so you're clear. Not a palace. No, they don't have a palace.
As a fan of engineering, I've been studying the structure of the walls and whatnot, as this fascinates Tessel.
Absolutely, of course. So if you're studying...
Oh, yeah, Pete's coming too.
Yes. If you're studying all that shit, why don't you go ahead and roll me an engineering check?
One day I'll roll above a fucking 2. Holy shit. Sorry. That was a
trash
good time
roll.
to fail, I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
So
good time to fail.
It's one of those things where you can't even. There's so much to take in. It's too much for you to properly be able to. It's almost like you're flooded with so much. Give me 1 second.
What does that perfume do? Oh yeah, I haven't changed my stats.
Second.
Yeah, Tesla is taking it in though. He very much enjoys seeing this.
One of the things I want you to be able to see, even though you fucking failed horribly, but I want you to be able to notice, and nothing else. Sadly, I'm gonna have to make you miss everything else in here that's noteworthy.
Yep,
You do
it
actually
happens.
come across a Temple of Vroga because you have interest in the Temple of Vroga for lots of reasons, including the motherfucking broken chain, right?
Well, sorry, is it Temple of Roga or is it a monastery of the Broken Chain?
A
Big
Temple
difference,
of
I
Vroga
imagine. Okay.
with a monument in front of it. That monument is a statue with a Karuk and a Perrin both killing each other with swords on a cube base, like a cube pedestal, right? There are carved images on each side of this cube base that happens to be here. The western one depicting life before Kajinxi of the Karuk people. The northern one depicting the formation of Kajinxi itself. The southern one depicting their part in repelling Paradel, fighting back your allies, you know, the enemies of Kajinxi. And the eastern one depicting something about, it shows something about, it almost seems to be showcasing something to do with either a particular family or a bloodline or something. It's hard for you to understand what it is, and sadly you just don't know, and nobody in your group would know the significance of it. The statues happen to be made. The statue happens to be made out of bronze. One of the things that you will be able to find out, because Pete would be able to tell you this because he's heard of this thing, is Pete can actually inform you that that was actually made of all the bronze weapons from the time of the Horde. They melted down all their bronze weapons and bronze armor and whatnot. They melted it down to form this statue. And now they only use iron and steel because they are Throne. Remember, not all of Kajinxi uses iron yet.
That's respect. All right. Tesla has gained a lot of respect for Throne in this last couple of minutes.
So, anyways, when you are the rest of the stuff, you're going to have to unfortunately skip out on. And
It happens.
So, oh, actually, no, my apologies. They do have a castle. Ha 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 ha.
Oh,
So the castle is up in the mountain. It's up in the mountainous part of this castle that gives it peaks to be able to overlook down to the Paradel side to always be looking. There actually is a castle there, but they have assembly and everything else as well, of course. So, with that being said, you will have your meeting in the assembly, not in the castle. You are not a welcome guest in the castle. You will be put up in in an appropriately comfortable housing at an inn at the expense of Clan Throne.
it's kind of an insult, but that's fine.
All right. So, well, yeah, of course. They're unfriendly to you.
Yeah, I get it. All right. But, you know, honestly, I would have been way nicer to them. But, you know, that's how it is.
Yeah, but you also would be, you know, every time you took a step, somebody would be throwing petals of roses on the ground in front of you. And
It's not true. All right, shut up.
They'd be like, you can use that to make rose water, which is great for baking. Ugh. All right. Yeah, I got you, Snaga. I think actually for Steve as well. It's just hard for me to do that while focusing on. Do you want me to RP or do you want me to press buttons, Joey? I can't do both, and I have no idea why it's broken. Genuinely.
Okay.
Because the program's clearly open, so I have no idea why it's broken.
Oh wait, I'm trying to find where the perfume's at. I think I know where it is then.
The castle is not an embassy. The castle is not an embassy.
Okay.
All right. Let me. I have to hold on. Let me do this. Joey's yelling at me. Okay. Done and done. All right, cool. Back to you, sir. So
Yeah.
shit, and I think I have to read this real quick before we do anything else. Nope, back over here. Wait, what? I'm not sure how to digest that. Give me a second.
I would like the castle to be an embassy. Good memes from Kingmaker.
Okay, sure. So you go to the assembly to meet with them. They don't meet with you the first day that you're there. They actually do the polite thing, which is when you arrive, you have an inn, but a comfortable place in the inn for you to stay. So you can be taken care of there or whatever. And they give you an entire day to be able to walk around the city and kind of take it in, which is why you have all these descriptions of everything I gave to you. The day after that is when they'll have their meeting with you. So they don't do a rude thing and make you wait several days or any shit like that. They give you an appropriate day to be able to acclimate yourself and be able to drink in the city. And then they meet with you after that, right?
Okay,
So,
yeah.
So when you go to the assembly, you go there to have meetings. When you are introduced into the area, your presence, that of Pete's and Aaliyah's, is of course announced. You go into their assembly where there are many seats for many different people that hold their various positions. Almost every one of those seats is empty. Of those seats that you see there, you see that there is an old male half orc that's sitting inside one of the seats. Again, he is definitely a good bit older. You also see that there is a young female, but adult, of course, half orc that happens to be there. And lastly, a female, kind of in her prime, so probably like late 20s. Female that happens to be sitting there. She's sorry. No, not late 20s. She's a gnome. So she's probably yeah. So I think you become an adult at what, like 80 or so. So she's probably 80 something.
Like 100, I thought.
Might be. Hold on, let me look up gnomes. It's been a hot minute. Pathfinder gnomes.
I need 111.
Is Masumi there?
Masumi would be. She wouldn't be here for this meeting though.
Yeah.
Because she would be she would have come to visit you guys as well, but there's no real RP that necessarily needs to happen there. They become adults at they become middle aged at 100. They become adults at 40.
He's middle aged.
So she's probably like 85 years old. So you have a gnome, a female gnome, a female younger Karuk, and a male older Karuk. They happen to be there. All the other seats are empty, and then obviously you have yourself, Aaliyah, and what's his fuck, Pete. Okay, what's up? So you get announced, and when you get announced, you kind of like go in, and there's a place where you can comfortably sit. But the way that their assembly works is it almost imagine like an old courtroom or whatever, where you have you have seats. So almost imagine somebody testifying before Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a couple of seats, and then you have like almost stadium style seating that goes up from there. The stadium style seating in this assembly can house on one side many different peoples that can sit from the public, probably upwards like 100 or so people can sit. But on the other side, it's much smaller. It can house probably 20 peoples of political importance to the actual clan. 3 of those seats are taken. The table you guys are sitting at can hold 5. 3 of those seats are taken. So, and of those 3, they're not even next to each other. They're kind of spread out in their own appropriate seats, kind of think like the UN where you have an assigned seat, right? So,
it's basically an empty hall.
Yeah, it's basically a big empty hall. 6 people inside of a place that can house upwards 150. Okay, so Jake, you get to roleplay as Pete. And the other one is Aaliyah. So,
is the warlord here?
No, he's not. So you will, once you guys are there, you'll actually, and you kind of like sit down and there's like, you get yourself settled in. There's a couple of seconds of silence and several moments of silence. And if you start to get like almost like antsy or whatever it might be, anything like that, you'll see like Aaliyah kind of slowly slides her hand over towards your direction on the desk just to make sure you like, just be patient, be calm, so on and so forth.
Yeah, I hold in my
Hi,
patience.
Bratwurst. Why are you just standing outside my gate and whining at me? I let you in the room, but then you just whine in here the whole time too, instead of eventually going away and getting comfortable upstairs. Go. Go. All right, back to you. So they're sitting there with you, so on and so forth. When finally the young female clears her throat, and then she says, "My name is Mazara Theron. I act as the diplomats to all of Clan Theron." She gestures down to the older gentleman and says, "Where is he? Sorry.
What's her name again? Sorry.
Mazara, Mozara, Mazara Theron. Trying to find the old fuck. Where'd you go? Where are you? Hold on, I have to find it. Here it is. She gestures down to the old guy that's there. She says, "This is Mogator Theron. He is the acting magister to Clan Theron." And then she gestures over to the gnome that's sitting there and says, "This is Madiri Rowana Flickerfield. She is the acting treasurer to Clan Theron."
Can you send me that last name?
Flickerfield.
Flicker. All right.
It's Madiri, Myderi, Rowana, Roana, Flickerfield.
That's right. Flickerfield is the
Phonetic.
After she's finished speaking, Pete will introduce their group.
Okay.
Starting with himself, then show Pete, and then who else is there? Aaliyah.
Aaliyah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then with Tessa last.
Yeah, obviously it'd be Warlord,
Yeah.
Teshel Shado of Clan
Shado,
Shado,
yeah.
and then a couple of titles or so on and so forth. And when you say who you are, she actually looks at you and her face changes slightly. She actually has a little bit of like a softness to her. And when you're done saying your lines and whatnot, she completely ignores Warlord Shado and looks at you and says, Pete Stenshow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not Masumi's son?"
I am. It was through her that we were able to gain this meeting.
She nods and says, "Well, I just have to say, Pete, your mother is an absolute delight, and I was honored that Warlord Verix would send such an incredibly well-spoken and put-together person to entertain us with her brilliant thoughts and plans to move forward between our two clans. Thank you to your warlord, and thank you to your mother for spending time with us. Now, you being her son, I imagine you're going to be at least half as delightful as she was?"
Of course, my mother is a delight, and he will bow.
Good. She says, give me 1 second. She does look you down and up again and say, and before we go on any further with this meeting, Pete, are you wed?
He gets a little bit of color in his cheeks, but he says, "No, I am not."
She nods appreciatively and says, "Good. Then we should probably start our meeting next week, since it's 1:02 p.m. 1:02 a.m.
Yeah, probably. I gotta make notes of everything I want to use.
Yeah, give Sel an opportunity to. Can I call you Mr. Pete? And then we can finish up Sel and give Nick his full session. So Nick can be the focus after we get Cell's RP out of the way. You excited, Nick?
I am excited to actually be awake for a session, so
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take 2 hours. Don't worry.
Well, Nick, if you want to do yours first, we can put his stuff on pause, and we'll do you first. Then we'll go to his shit afterwards. I don't mind making him wait a little longer.
That's fine.
Oh, that'd be great.
Except I
Have
still
you
have my
noticed,
events
though,
to do.
Cell manages like I'll like miss a whole session, or Nick will miss a whole session. Cell never is on the sidelines for a whole session. Just doesn't.
That's not
happen.
true. That's wrong.
Once
Absolutely wrong.
doesn't count.
I just
Right?
want to
One
point
time
out
doesn't count.
that Jake got his session done in 20 minutes.
It's record time.
Whoa, hey, this wasn't my fault why it took so long.
It was like 15 minutes, and then he left and came back and finished in 5.
Well, it was like
Well, actually, he had a decent amount of RP. That whole Knoll thing I stretched out with a bit more RP. But yeah, 30 minutes I would say. Solid whole thing.
no, it was way
Nick,
more than that. You just wrong.
Nick, hold on. You did an RP thing too. How much RP did you do?
Oh, I think 30 seconds.
Yeah. Maybe a minute, 30 seconds. Yeah.
Did you put up
Sorry.
that other poll?
We're not-
Pull
we're
for
not
the other
talking
hype
about-
train. I think was it a level. First one was a 4,
level
second one was a
5,
5.
that one.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
slash pull.
This is unbelievable.
Unbelievable! But you have fun, right?
This isn't my fault half the time. I think Jake took up more time this session than I did.
Keep spraying that perfume, buddy.
I'll look through the VOD. All right, I'll count the minutes.
Also, a good amount of RP is us just sorry. A good amount of the session is bullshitting too. So
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck? This is slander. Well, I couldn't send Aaliyah alone, obviously, Snaga. So who else am I gonna fucking send? No one else has the diplomacy high enough to beat a 33. No, it literally couldn't have been resolved that way. It would have been absurd. You're just wrong. You can't criticize the idea of bringing Aaliyah and say it could have been resolved with a roll. Those are two contradictory statements.
okay, sorry. Here we go. Vote starting now. I said now. I waited a couple seconds because of the delay.
I can't believe the hypocrisy here. All right, I get criticized for bringing Aaliyah, and I get criticized for not using.
No,
Aaliyah.
ignore it.
I know.
I think bringing Aaliyah is important for the sake of RP. Mechanically, it's a
Well,
negative
sorry.
1. Oh no, but
Sorry,
for the sake of RP, it makes sense.
Correction, sorry. I get Joey memes it for not using Aaliyah just to roll the dice. All right, that's what happens. These people. Also, Aaliyah's good. All right.
So people have brought it. The standstill is currently at 12 for there's people on two sides of this battle here. The standstill's at 12. Oh, they're gonna wait till the last 10 seconds and they're gonna battle each other again.
Well,
It's gonna be funny.
Nick's gonna get it. All right. So
no.
seriously.
I'm curious how many people are involved in the battle. Ready?
And
Battle starts
pause.
now. Yeah. Did you?
Nick wins. Nick wins. I told you.
Oh my God! Cell almost got it. Somebody.
No, I don't even want it. All right.
Oh my God! Cell almost got it. Oh.
Look, so all right. Soon, Nick's gonna have leveled all of his advisors up to 5. All right, and when that happens, then
it's your go.
We'll start.
Then it's your go. Okay. Then you level up all your guys.
That's awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Cool.
It's okay, Xylonos. I don't need it. All right. I'm too good to need it. Okay. How about that? Nick needs all the help he can get.
Yeah, that's true.
I just
Okay,
fail
good.
forwards.
He doesn't need good advisors when he's got all that luck to burn every time.
Shut up.
So Nick, make sure you note that. All right, one last thing I want to do before we actually head out for the session. I want to draw all 3 PC's attention to this because I think I mentioned this in the Kijinxi chat before, but I want to make sure I talk about it live, like while I'm on a call with you, and I can show it to chat as well. So if you look under your different kingdom sheets, I'm showing cells on stream right now. If you look at your different kingdom sheets and you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a tab called leadership. I use Nick's leadership as a base for this, and I modified it for Nick and copy and pasted it to all you guys. This shows how many, like how it is you add up your leadership score. You have to type in your own notes and do your own math or whatever for what your actual leadership score is. It has the path underneath for you should highlight like Nick did with green or whatever, where your current leadership score is, so you know the maximum level of your cohort, which doesn't matter because it's based off your level, and then how many of each different level of followers you can get based off that score. And then whatever that number is, you should ungray, you should white out how many of those followers you can have up in the top right hand corner. And there you can start filling out the names of your different followers. So this allows us to kind of keep track of, oh, do I have all my followers for my leadership feat currently filled in? Have I swelled out my kingdom to the best of my ability, so on and so forth? Because one of the things you might want to be able to do, like let's say for instance, let's say Nick's like, I really want to expand my kingdom, but I can't really risk me myself investing too much in going over there and taking the penalties for going over there. I'm going to take let's say 3 of my 3rd level followers and 2 of my 1st level followers, and give them an amount of citizens and maybe like 15 BP, and I'm going to patron a new, what are they called,
A vassal.
Vassal state. And he literally just sends them off into the fucking woods. Nick already paid to investigate the area. Nick already paid to prepare the hex, so on and so forth. That is separated from his own hex by like the other side of the woods or in this middle of the woods, whatever it might be. And then he grabs his followers and makes them their own leaders of a whole different vassal state with the new sheet that Cell put together. And now Nick has a second vassal kingdom completely controlled by his followers. One of those leaders is the viceroy in his kingdom, which probably acts as the leader of that kingdom or however it works out, right? And that allows him to start establishing himself. It costs him a good amount of BP because he has to give them their starting treasury, right? And he's probably going to want to do the basic work for them. But it allows him to start really solidifying the other side of the forest or in the middle of the forest or whatever, because then at a later point in time, Nick can kind of go check in on his vassal state and be like, it's time to pull you back into myself. So instead of doing what Cell's doing, which is taking pre-existing clans and like bashing them over the head with diplomacy and saying, you mine, instead what he's doing is he's going to plant seeds elsewhere, which is appropriate for his nature group. Plant seeds and then come in and cut down the trees later on. You know what I mean? Cool. I hope you like that idea, Nick, or anybody else, but definitely use this cheat sheet on your thing here. Any questions that you PCs have while we're all together before we go and Nick crashes because he has work in the morning?
No.
Everybody good?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Nick, don't forget to do all of your level ups. You have, I know you're working on a couple of them this session, and you could probably finish those up next week while Cell's doing his part after your RP, after your Kingdom rolls. But after we finish, who's first? Does it go Cell, Nick, then Jake, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So after Jake's next Kingdom roll, I'm letting the schemers ones back in, anonymously from them, but the schemer ones are coming back in. Your time of peace is passing. So, all right, cool. Let's get out of here, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming by and hanging out. I do want to say, if you do watch Star Wars, I'm very excited about the Star Wars session this week on Lost Initiative. It's something I've been planning on doing for a long time. If you're a long-time viewer over there, it's something that's exciting, I guess, for people that have been watching for a long while, but it's probably more exciting for me as a DM because of like what I like to do. But totally check it out. Otherwise, bye. Thank you, everybody, so much. And thanks for the 2 fucking hype trains and trying to save Nick's kingdom so it doesn't fail. Oh, I gotta find somebody to raid.
This kingdom's fine now. It's doing perfectly fine.
Who is streaming? Ooh, we have Blue and we have Sluna. Chat, let me know, Blue or Sluna? Who do you think, Blue or Sluna? Sluna was the first response. Let's go get her. Bye, everybody. Thank you again.